All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and for waiting patiently for the intro to finish up there. Hope everybody is doing well today. We have a lot to discuss regarding the PS5 Pro, PS5 Pro leaks, PS5 Pro leaked images, comparisons, stuff that I think will be very interesting to go over. But yeah, appreciate you guys being here. Wait, what's all my fault? What happened? Did I miss something? I'm being blamed for something. I don't know what I'm being blamed for. Did I get my Pro yet? No. No, I'm actually starting to get nervous that I may end up getting mine like a couple days late. Haven't had any shipping notification yet, so I'm fully prepared. I'm fully prepared to find out I'm going to get the Pro a couple days late. Not a huge deal. Will be a little bit disappointing, obviously, but it's cool. As long as I'm getting one, soon, I'm happy. But yeah, appreciate you guys joining me today. And I have a couple things I want to go over here. First, we have Darkside Matthew saying, "Morning, everyone." Well, good morning, Darkside Matthew, and thank you for the super chat, bro. Here's what we're going to be talking about today. We're talking about the full PS5 Pro spec leak. So for the first time, we have the official specifications. I mean, from top to bottom. We're going to talk about how these specs compare to the base PS5. The first PS5 Pro teardown has happened, and I'm not going to be reacting to that because that's definitely not something that's supposed to be out there right now. But we'll talk about a couple things. Well, really just one main thing that I think we learned from that teardown. We're going to be talking about how people have discovered who have the PS5 Pro already that there is a setting to enhance PS4 games. And the first game that people tested was Bloodborne, and the results are actually maybe a little bit better than you would expect. It's hard to say, but we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about a bunch of, and this might be the first thing I go over. I'm not sure. I'm eager to get to this part. A bunch of images and stuff that show some comparisons. And there's one comparison in particular that I'm finding difficult to believe. I don't know if it's real or true. It's lacking a bit of context. It could be just some console war nonsense that people are making up. But I came across it with Alan. It's like an image comparison with Alan Wake 2. And I'm like, whoa. I'm actually very skeptical to believe that's true. But we'll go over that stuff. And we have a couple of other topics as well that I'm not going to mention just yet because I don't know which direction the stream's going to go in today. So we'll just kind of let it flow. And if we happen to, cross the bridge to those other topics, then we'll discuss them. But before we dive into any of these topics and get deeper into the conversation, I want to just again thank everybody for being here. I want to ask you to please take a moment to hit that like button. Okay, we're sitting at 43 likes. Let's see if we can bump that up to 50, maybe even 75 or 100. It really helps the streams. And I also want to give a shout out to those who can't catch the streams live but watch them later. Appreciate the viewership. There are four ways actually, in which you can support this channel directly. This channel is completely fan-funded. I'm only able to produce this content because you guys make it possible. The community makes it possible when it comes to the videos, the streams, members content, and everything else can only be done because of you guys. So the ways in which you can support the channel directly: become a channel member, gain access to exclusive perks, exclusive member gameplay live streams, the members lounge, morning with the misses, a whole host of good stuff. If you are already a member, please consider gifting memberships. It's a big thing we do here on the channel. A lot of people very much appreciate those membership gifts, and it also allows people to kind of get a taste of that members content, see if they like it, so they can actually become, recurring members. I do want to say we are striving for a big goal today. All right. We're striving for a big goal. We're striving to hit 100 membership gifts today. It's a big one. It's a doozy, but there will be a direct reward. Okay, if we hit those 100 membership gifts today, later today, we will do an exclusive member stream where I will play some Black Ops Zombies with Mrs. MBG and Brown Sugar. This is something that Quite a few people have requested previously. So yeah, we'll see if we can do that. We'll probably be streaming for about 3 or so hours. That's usually around how long we stream. So we'll push for that. Okay. It's not a big deal if we can't hit the goal, but 100's a lot. If we hit it, I want to make sure there's a direct reward for that, or an immediate reward, I should say. The third way is you can drop a super chat, ask a question, give an opinion, make a statement, and there's a direct donation link at the top of the chat as well. So there are multiple ways in which you can help support the channel, and I just want to make sure everybody understands how much I appreciate that. But with that out of the way, we are going to dive into these topics and go over all of the details here. So first, I just want to say that I don't know if you guys have been noticing this, but I've been seeing this a lot. It seems like quite a few people who were originally against the PS5 Pro or against purchasing it or just not excited for it and kind of jumped on the hate bandwagon. Quite a few people are changing their tune. They're deciding, actually, you know what? I do want to buy the PS5 Pro. I don't know if it's the FOMO. Maybe it is the FOMO. But it's interesting that all this is kind of happening at the same time around launch. Not only am I seeing that, I'm seeing more people kind of change their tune on the PS5 Pro, but I'm also seeing the reaction to some of these leaked images and comparisons and stuff. And that's also making people kind of go, whoa, that does look really good. And, I kind of had this suspicion that as we got closer to the launch of the PS5 Pro, that people would start to slowly change their tune a little bit, but it's happening more so than I expected. I'm not saying everybody suddenly won over and suddenly everybody wants the Pro, but just generally speaking, there seems to be a bit more positivity going into the launch of this console than I expected. And it seems like the leaks that are coming out, and this is the interesting part, the leaks that are coming out they are, I would say, selling the console in a way that Sony really hasn't so far. And it makes me wonder if this was intentional. It makes me wonder if Sony decided to purposely kind of undersell the PS5 Pro just slightly. So that way, by the time we got to this point, once everything was out there and the floodgates open, people are kind of pleasantly surprised with the amount of stuff. Like, for example, one of the topics today I mentioned is the PS4 games being enhanced on the PS5 Pro. It leaked out that there's a specific setting with the PS5 Pro, a specific setting that when you toggle it, it tells you, like, if you turn this on, it's going to enhance PS4 games that you play. And it doesn't really say what it's going to do, and it doesn't say how it's going to do it. But the people who have the Pros in their hands right now, they decided to toggle this option on. And of course, the first game they went to go test was Bloodborne. And what they saw was that there was some kind of image quality increase for Bloodborne, maybe a resolution increase where it looked a little bit sharper, a little bit crisper, enhanced, right? Now, it didn't impact the frame rate because the frame rate is locked. Nothing could impact the frame rate unless there was like a patch to unlock it, but it did look noticeably better. I wouldn't say it was like a night and day difference, nothing along those lines. It wasn't like huge or vast, but it was just a kind of nice little, like, wow, okay, if I choose to play Bloodborne on my PS5 Pro, it's going to look somewhat better than even on the base PS5 and certainly the PS4. And so this is a feature that, again, is just kind of coming out and surprising people, where Sony did mention this at the launch of the PS5 Pro. They did mention that there will be like 8,000 games or something that are going to be enhanced automatically, but they didn't go any further. They didn't give any more details. Now we're starting to see what that's going to look like. And, I'm not saying you should buy a PS5 Pro to play PS4 games, but let's face it, a lot of people who buy PS5 Pros will at some point or another be playing PS4 games. And it'll be nice to know that if you do want to go back to playing these games, you'll be able to get the best possible versions. And this doesn't require any work. It's not like we're seeing PS4 games getting Pro enhanced. You saw someone playing Wilds on the Pro and it ran and looked better. Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that. Monster Hunter Wilds, the performance is frankly not good on the base PS5, and so I would imagine the Pro is. See, what's interesting is like playing this beta version of Monster Hunter Wilds on the Pro. I really wonder, like, is that even the Pro enhanced version? Probably not. Like the increases we're seeing are probably without the PS5 Pro enhanced patch. The PS5 Pro enhanced patch probably won't be ready till the actual launch of the console. So that makes it even more interesting, where we are potentially looking at an unoptimized version of Monster Hunter Wilds running on the Pro, and we're just seeing what the Pro just in its. That's my assumption. Anyway, that's my assumption. I could be wrong. Maybe we are looking at the patched PS5 Pro version, but that would be a little bit surprising. But if it's not, that's it. Just goes to show like what this console can do for games that are just struggling, you know, in any way and are not as optimized as they should be, which unfortunately, you know, does happen. But yeah, man, I was seeing this Bloodborne image or these Bloodborne images kind of floating around, and they did surprise me a little bit. Like I don't know, I wasn't expecting that, honestly. What map am I playing in Black Ops 6? If we hit the goal, probably Liberty Falls. I've been really enjoying that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of addicted to Call of Duty right now. Kind of addicted. I've been playing a lot of zombies. It's really fun. The base PS5 is now obsolete. Well, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say it's obsolete, but I would say it's, you know, it's definitely not going to look as good, you know. I did do the Easter egg, by the way. Yeah, I completed that. I have to do the Easter egg for Terminus, I think. But yeah, the Easter egg for Liberty Falls was pretty simple. MBG's addicted to a Microsoft game. It's true. It's true. They got me. They got me. You're poisoned by Microsoft. Well, I mean, hey, man. It's not my fault that they bought Activision Blizzard, okay? It's not my fault that they own Call of Duty now. But I want to bring this up here. Give me just a moment. See if it'll let me. Hold on. I just purposely put this post up so that way I could just show you guys these images. Just give me a moment. All right. So I wonder if I see this person's reply. You had to compare it with Series X. I didn't create this comparison. Somebody else did. But here's like a picture that I don't know, I randomly came across. This is what the PS5 Pro looks like. Looks really good. There are a couple of other pictures floating around out there. Like you can see it with the disk drive attached and everything. But there you go. That's one image I wanted to show you. Another one. So this one has been floating around, and this one's kind of crazy because this is Spider-Man 2. I'm assuming this is the Fidelity Pro mode. I would have to assume that this is the Fidelity Pro mode. But this is with ray tracing turned up like all the way. And holy shit, that is kind of crazy looking. Zuby confirmed this is the Fidelity Pro mode. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's no way you're going to get ray tracing like this at 60 FPS, bro. Like, there's just no possible way you're going to get that. But even with what we're seeing here, man, I mean, this is like the full ray tracing package you would hope to see, right? And I don't know. I came across this. Maybe I can't tell if the image is a little bit oversaturated with the color, maybe. But God, man, that is that's a very reflective and shiny picture right there. This drives are going for 200 on eBay. Oh man. Were they sold out? Are they sold out? Now this is the one. This is the one that I really need. I need more context. I need more context. I need to know if this is real because this one looks insane. Supposedly, this is the same exact spot in Alan Wake 2 being compared on the PS5 Pro to the Series X version. And I'm having, like, I need to know. Is the Series X version, is this the performance mode it's being compared to? Because we might be seeing a 30 FPS difference, right? These are still images. The Series X version could be in the performance mode at 60 FPS. The Pro version could be in the fidelity 30 FPS with ray tracing cranked up. But holy shit, look at that ray tracing, bro. I gotta say, that is wild. Like, I know it's probably at 30 frames, but man, that looks good. You're saying both look the same? Dude, you gotta look closer, man. I'm sorry, you gotta look a little. Honestly, you don't even have to look closer. Like, you just gotta just focus. Focus, man. Look at look at the lighting. Look at the reflections. Look at the sheen, just the shine and the sheen on the bottom. Look at the puddles. Look at his hair. Look at the car. Dude, look at the left side of the picture with the lights reflecting, the neon lights reflecting off the top of the car. That doesn't even exist on the image above. I mean, I understand that for some people this might not, this isn't a big deal. And I'm not trying to make it seem like it's that big of a deal, but it's just like, damn, man, considering what we were getting on the base PS5, right? If you want it to have the best image quality, I think it looks really good. I gotta say, like, I'm quite impressed with what it's doing. But yeah, man, I mean, I would have preferred a PS5 Pro to PS5 image. It seems like somebody definitely threw the Series X image up there just to throw shade at Xbox. But it's even lighting the trash on the floor, on the ground. It looks good, man. It looks good. But there you go. That's another image that's been floating around. And then here's another one. This one looks really good too. And I'm going to throw it up here. This is with ray tracing turned off. This is the one with ray tracing turned off. And this is with it on. Or wait, sorry, no. This is with it on. So you could see, like, it's way, way more realistic with the ray tracing turned on. Again, the reflections are just way more accurate. Kind of, much truer to real life and what you would see if you were to look at a window like this and then, during a day. But we also, so again, this is with the ray tracing on, ray tracing off. But we also have some Hogwarts Legacy images here. This is with ray tracing. This one's a little bit, I would say, less impressive. So I think this is ray tracing on, ray tracing off. Although, man, I will say this one is like less impressive, Unless I actually, did I put the same image twice? No, I'm pretty sure. Okay, you could see a difference. It's subtle, but if you look at the floor, the middle of the floor, you can see the biggest difference. So stuff like, it's not like game changing in all cases, but. And then this is the SoC of the system on chip for the PS5 Pro. The most important thing about this that people have discovered is that apparently they've deduced it is a 4 nanometer SoC. It's like people were thinking it was 6 nanometer SoC, which would have been not as impressive, I guess. But essentially what it means is you'll be able to get higher power draws with less heat overall. So basically just more efficient. But yeah, let me get this out of the way here now. And just wanted to show you some of those images that came out. But now we're going to dive into the specs of the Pro. Hold on. I got like too many things up. So the full specifications of the PS5 Pro are out, and they are as follows. So the PS5 Pro is 16.7 teraflops. Now, I will say that people have been questioning, like I thought it was like 32 or something, or 31 or 33 teraflops. There are two different calculations you can do when it comes to counting teraflops. If you, I think it's about kind of like the floating points or whatever, but essentially, the method that all the consoles have pretty much been using up until this point is the one that ultimately gives you the lower T-flop count. So, yeah, 10 teraflops. The PS5, the base PS5 for comparison, is about 10 teraflops, 10.4 teraflops, I believe, either 10.4 or 10.7. But the PS5 Pro, 16.7. And then if you throw the Series X in there, the Series X is 12 teraflops. When it comes to the SSD, the PS5 Pro 2 terabyte SSD versus the PS5's 825 gigabyte SSD. The PS5 Pro has added 2 gigabytes of DDR5 memory. So this was something that people were speculating, but we didn't get actual confirmation of it. But now we have the official confirmation that there are 2 more gigabytes of DDR5 memory. So that's going to allow just overall more performance, but also more multitasking on the console as well. They added Wi-Fi 7 support, which we've known about. And they say here that the extra USB-C port replaces the USB-A port, and the power unit is apparently 390 watts max. That's versus the 350 watt max power unit for the base PS5. And again, you're not going to see games go up to like 350 watts. At least they shouldn't. But yeah, they're going to need that because it's going to be doing more. So let me see. There might be. Give me a second. I need to bring up the full spec sheet. Okay, so yeah, the processor x86 or CPU x86 AMD Ryzen Zen 2, 8 cores, 16 threads. GPU again 16.7 T-flops. RDNA AMD Radeon. They don't say if it's like RDNA 3 or 4. I think it's like RDNA. Technically, I think it would be like RDNA 3.5. It is like highly customized. But yeah, that's basically it. So nothing like too crazy there. Hold on. Oh, yeah, and something else that I do want to let you guys know, for those who are planning on buying the PS5 Pro or looking forward to it, there are now 90 games confirmed. 90 games confirmed for that are going to be PS5 Pro enhanced. So to put that in perspective, the PS4 Pro launched with 40 games that were PS5 Pro enhanced. So pretty huge difference there. I think it kind of speaks to how, yeah, I mean, it feels like by the time we're like 1 week into the launch, there's going to be over 100 games. The list of games here You ready? Here's the entire list of games: Alan Wake 2, Albatross, Apex Legends, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Bad Cheese, Baldur's Gate 3, The Callisto Protocol, The Crew Motorfest, Dead Island 2, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, Demon Souls, Diablo 4, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Dragon's Dogma 2, Dwarf Journey, Dying Light 2 Stay Human, Dying Light The Beast, Dynasty Warriors Origins, EA Sports College Football 25, EA Sports FC 25, Elemental War Clash, Empire of the Ants, Enlisted, Everspace 2, F1 24, Fears of Fathom, Ironbark Lookout, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, The Finals, The First Descendant, Fortnite, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, Helldivers 2, Hitman World of Assassination, Hogwarts Legacy, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, Horizon Forbidden West, Killing Floor 3, The Last of Us Part 1, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, Lies of P, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Lords of the Fallen, Madden NFL 25, Marvel Rivals, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, The Midnight Town Stories, Adam's Diary, Monster Hunter Wilds, Mortal Kombat 1, My Little Universe, Naraka Blade Point, No Man's Sky, Outbreak, Shades of Horror, Chromatic Split, Pal World, Planet Coaster 2, Pro Baseball Spirits 2024-2025, Promise Mascot Agency, Quantum Error, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Redacted, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Village, Retrieval, Rise of the Ronin, Rogue Flight, Slitterhead, Smells Like a Mushroom, Spider-Man Remastered, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, Spine, This Is Gunfu, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Outlaw, Stellar Blade, Stunt Paradise, Test Drive Unlimited, Solar Crown, Towers of Agashpa, Truck Driver The American Dream, UFC 5, Unreal Kingdoms, Until Dawn, Warframe, War Thunder, Wolverine, World of Warships, Legends, PSVR 2 games, Arcane Age, SciCube VR, Kayak VR Mirage, and Subside, and boom, there you go. Those are all the PS5 Pro games. I kind of just wanted to see if I could how fast I could run down that list. But yeah, man, a lot of games going to be PS5 Pro enhanced. And what's most interesting is you can tell that there are so many games missing from this list. Yeah, I know there are quite a few games missing from the list that you hope to hear from, right? Like, what about Returnal, Elden Ring, But I imagine within the first few months of the PS5 Pro being out, we're going to hear about a ton of games that are coming out in 2025, as well as just, when devs get the time to go back to some of these games. Yeah, like Black Myth Wukong. There are certainly games that I would say people are eager to find out if they're going to get Pro Enhanced. And I think that there are actually going to be some people who are going to be waiting to hear about certain games getting enhanced before they decide to pull the trigger. So Baldur's Gate 3, I don't think I've heard anything about Baldur's Gate 3. Saying that's great and all, but we need new games. No, I agree. I totally understand if somebody sees the list of games and they're like, well, this isn't enough to do it for me. I want to see more new games. I totally get it. And that's why, it's going to take a little bit of time. I would say within 3 to 6 months, we're going to start seeing many more games announced that are going to be PS5 Pro enhanced. Yeah, I'm surprised Silent Hill 2 hasn't been announced to be PS5 Pro enhanced. That, I would say, is probably the most surprising, just because, apparently it was found in the code or something, like it was referenced in the code. So, I don't know. Just feels like there's no real rush to buy a Pro. Yeah, I would agree with that. There's not a rush. That's why I don't think anybody who's buying it is doing so out of like FOMO. I think that anybody who's buying the Pro now is excited to go back to a lot of these games and experience them, with better performance, better graphical fidelity, and just, experience what these games what they can do on the Pro. But I think more importantly than that, anybody who's buying the Pro now is doing so because they see it as an investment for the remainder of the generation. They're doing so in good faith, expecting that pretty much all AAA games going forward are going to be Pro enhanced, and they're going to get the best version on console, right? Without having to go to PC. That's what at least I would assume that's why 99.99% of people who are buying the Pro now, that's why they're doing it. But it is true that most of these games are not necessarily new games, but it's also because it's like, dude, I don't know. We have the Game Awards coming up. There seems to be not a whole ton of games that have like release dates. And I think it's clear that during the Game Awards, we're going to see a shit ton of new games announced. And I have no doubt that most of those games are going to be PS5 Pro enhanced when we see them. Still no word on Black Ops 6. I'm going to assume it's not getting enhanced. Or either that or it's going to come later on in some kind of update. But yeah, man, people seem to be feeling a little bit better about the PS5 Pro now that it's close to launch compared to, when it was first announced. MGS Delta is the main game you want to see the release date for. Yeah, same here. And yeah, that game is confirmed to be Pro enhanced, which is exciting. Like, that's one of my most anticipated games. So I'm stoked for it. Yeah, I have mine pre-ordered. I'm just waiting to find out when it's shipping. Like I said, I mentioned this earlier. I think there were a lot less people in here, but I'm fully expecting my PS5 Pro to come a couple days late because I haven't gotten any notification of it shipping yet. And I mean, it's what the 7th is. The 7th is on a Thursday. So if it doesn't get here on Thursday, then that means I have to hope it arrives Friday. And if it doesn't arrive Friday, that means it's not arriving till like Monday or Tuesday. So I'm expecting it's going to arrive a bit late for me, and I'm okay with that. Vincent, you're saying your payment just went through? Yeah, a lot of people, I think my payment went through. A lot of people were saying their payments went through. Mine is through PlayStation Direct. Yeah. So I'm hoping it's going to be day one, but there have been many times in the past where stuff that I was supposed to get arrived like a couple days late. And I'm just ready for that. So, which it's not a huge deal, there are games I do want to try out and play on the Pro, but having to wait a couple more days is not going to be some kind of like situation. I think the 30th anniversary stuff is coming out. I think, like, I know the DualSenses are not releasing until like the 21st. You pre-ordered yours from GameStop. MBG, did you see the clip of Digital Foundry talking about the machine learning between the Series X and the PS5 Pro? It's brutal. No, I haven't. MBG, can you shave your beard one day? It's kind of making you look older. I don't know. I'm trying to look older, trying to look like an old man here. No, I didn't see this clip you're talking about with Digital Foundry, though. I did see that there was a comparison, though. They tested Black Ops 6 on all the consoles. Let me see. Was that like a video they just put out, or what? Or I guess it was maybe their podcast. You'll have to let me know what they said. I'm kind of curious. Because, yeah, the latest thing I see from Digital Foundry, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, every console tested, is last gen still viable? Is last gen still viable? Kind of forgot about that. Yeah, they did do last gen, didn't they? And Mr. Benidorm, UK, thank you so much for that, buddy. He drops a single membership gift for you guys. So Mr. Benidorm UK is kicking off the day here. I mean, we got a long way to go, but hey, a start is a start, one step at a time. I'll add that to the counter in just a moment. Brandon Miner says, are you going to do a live unboxing or just a video? I don't even know if I'm going to do an unboxing, Brandon, to be honest. I don't know if that's me being a buzzkill, but the reason being is that by the time my Pro gets here, there's going to be so many unboxings already. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, it depends on when it arrives. It depends on when it arrives. Like, if I'm streaming when it arrives, then I'll just open it live. If it doesn't, though, if it arrives before or after, I'm just going to open it. I'm not waiting. You know what I mean? So that's basically it. I feel like it's a little bit different because it's a pro console, you know. But if it arrives here the day of launch and I'm streaming and it's like, you know, I'm an hour and a half into the stream and it gets here, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll just F it, we'll do it live, you know. But yeah, as soon as it gets here, I'm gonna want to set it up and try it out. My big thing is talking to. I want to talk to you guys about it more than anything, you know, because I think the PS5 Pro looks cool and I like the aesthetic, but it still just basically looks like a PS5. You know, there's nothing really too substantial there. But the thing I really want to talk to you guys about, and this is why, like, as soon as I get it, I want to hook it up. I want to try some games. I want to see some stuff. I want to see some stuff, and I want to be able to, you know, I want to be able to talk about it in depth with you guys. The anticipation of seeing MBG's hair is better than the build up to the Pro. Uh-oh. I'm telling you, man, it's not going to be as exciting as you think. But we're getting there. We're getting there. So, guys, we are at 1 member. Our goal is 100. We're at 1 member. Every journey begins with a single step. Isn't that what they say? You think I have an afro under the hat? Unless you overreact like the YouTuber weirdos do. Yeah, I'll do some kind of like over the top. I'll do some over the top nonsense. Silent Spartan saying you are messing up if you don't do an unboxing big, like in your face reveal, LOL. I mean, I could, who knows? Who knows? I could do that. I could be like, oh my God, guys, the PS5 Pro just arrived. Oh man, I can't believe it. And then, you know, just basically like hype it to the moon and back the whole time. It's just hard for me to do that stuff because it's like, I don't really feel that way. Yeah, I'm excited. This is cool. But like the people who get like super like into it, you know, it feels a bit like forced sometimes. Oh, ooh, that's some bitter green tea right there. Ooh, well, that'll wake you up. MBG learned from the abandoned days. Yeah, I went. I mean, those were the days where I was being that way, and I got a little bit nuts. You know, I went a little bit crazy. Some could say I went off the deep end. MBG chugging tea again. Yeah, it reminds me that one time I chugged that really super bitter tea on stream. I was like, we hit this member goal, I'll chug this tea. I'm not doing that with this, bro. But yeah, I'm trying to switch my afternoon coffee to organic green tea. I'm trying to be a little bit healthy. You just posted that digital foundry clip on your recent Twitter post. All right, thank you, Ahoy Tyler. I'll go check that out. Let me just go find it. Okay, thank you. All right, let's listen to it.
There's been some odd posts on social media. It's like, oh, Sony is finally catching up to Microsoft because they're adding machine learning features. Xbox Series consoles have had it for the last 4 years. It's just nobody has used them. Now, Alex, can we clarify this situation?
I mean, there's an order of magnitude and difference in how much more capable the
Right.
PS5 Pro is than an Xbox Series X or Series S for that matter. The 100 tops thing is in reference to Int 4, which is typically not what is used at all for machine learned upscaling. There is nothing preventing Microsoft from trying to make a machine learned model that fits and runs well on the Series X, but they haven't done it. So, you know, they were not first to anything if it's not even used at all. It is like, has anything used it to our outward facing knowledge or inward facing knowledge at this point? No one has. It didn't amount to diddly squat at this point. So,
Oh,
I mean, I think an interesting use case for it would be running Auto SR for Xbox 360 backwards compatibility games. We've talked about this before on the show. Because they already made this Auto SR model that runs on MPUs that are like 40 int 8 tops, right? And,
yeah.
a GPU running it would incur less issues than an MPU off chip or using different like memory and cache. So like, I feel like there is a use case for it. It's just Microsoft has never shown interest in doing anything with it. So I would say no. There's nothing special Microsoft have done that Sony haven't already.
Yeah, I think it's worth bearing in mind that the series architecture was designed in 2016. So ML was on the radar, it was on the horizon, but the extent to how it would blow up, 7, 8 years later, just wasn't really considered at that point. Anyway,
Yeah, I mean that was pretty brutal, man. They were just straight up like, no, Microsoft hasn't done anything, and yeah, so no, just flat out no. Hold on one sec, guys. Look, what you just heard is a perfect example of why I keep saying these developers still have not used the full potential out of the consoles we have now. I mean, that's true too, I would say. I don't I don't think we've seen the true potential, like the absolute most you can get out of either of these consoles, but I mean, it is what it is, I don't think there's anything we can really do about that. Makes sense that the next Xbox will be out in 2026 if the architecture of the series consoles was designed in 2016. I mean, I would make the argument that Sony has done overall a better job um, in some instances. I don't want to say all because Sony's also done a lot of cross gen, but in some instances, you could tell Sony really has tried to kind of push what can be done on the PS5, within reason from what we could expect within the first couple years. I feel like Microsoft, I don't know, man, they they just haven't really had anything truly pop on the Xbox console, and I feel like any chance of that happening is now gone with the PS5 Pro. The best we could maybe hope for when it comes to these comparisons is like the Series X, maybe in some rare cases, like holding its own with a comparison up to the PS5 Pro. Maybe that could happen. Maybe that would help it, but I'm not. I don't know that I'm necessarily anticipating that. Nick, you're saying we got great ray tracing from Sony first party so far? I agree with that, Capono. You're saying the 8K talk is kind of funny. Nobody has 8K monitors. Yeah, I know. I don't know if like maybe these companies they just feel like they kind of have to prepare for the future or whatever. I don't know if that's how they feel, if that's why they're doing this, if that's why they're putting so much emphasis or not so much, but they're putting any emphasis at all on 8K cuz yeah, I don't know. Apparently like with the PS5 Pro, you can take 8K screenshots and it's like I don't understand why that's even there. I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, but like what games are going to be running at 8K? Who's going to even be able to see the 8K resolution because nobody's using an 8K display? You know what I mean? It's just kind of weird. 8K can be super sampled down to 4K though for better visuals. That's true, but I just feel like 99% of developers are going to choose not to do that because it's like 8K resolution is so expensive. I mean, maybe that is the future. Yeah, like GT7 is going to have an 8K mode. And maybe that is really the future. Like maybe we're going to get to a point where it's just super easy for developers to have their games running at 8K. Like it's not really as resource intensive anymore. Maybe that is the future. And because of that, maybe what you're describing, being able to kind of like super sample it down to 4K and make it look even better in 4K, sure, maybe. But I still think we got a ways to go. 8K screenshots shown on 1080p YouTube. Yeah. 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 People always say they're like, bro, Sony put 8K on the box. It was a lie. Meanwhile, there is one game, that game known as The Tourist, was running at 8K and it was downsampled, like you're saying, to 4K on the base PS5. So it was not a lie. Technically, it was not. On the most technical level, it was not a lie. I don't really think I've ever seen an 8K image anyway, or like an 8K screen. And that's one of those things where I would have to see it in person and really, compare it to 4K because I don't know. Have any of you guys seen an 8K image? How much different is it? How much better is it? Is it kind of like 60 FPS to 120? Because I've played 120 FPS games and I can feel the difference. Like I can see the difference. I'm like, yeah, I can tell this is 120, but it's not nearly as big of a jump. Like it just doesn't feel nearly as big or substantial as 30 to 60. No, it's all good, Capono. You didn't derail anything. Linus did a test and no one could tell the difference between 8K and 4K on like an 80-inch TV. God damn. Yeah, see, I didn't see that, but that's what I mean. If that's true, it's like, what's the point? What's the point? I kind of understand that like 8K is a great like buzzword, a marketing term, something that is easily marketable, but in terms of like the actual practicality, you know? Let me check something here real quick. Okay, we're good. We're good. Thank you for that, Hey Tarnished. Did I play God of War, Spider-Man at 120, Spider-Man 2 at 120 FPS? I played Spider-Man 2 for a little bit at 120 FPS, and it was nice. It was nice, but I mean, I was fine with 60. I'll be honest. Like if I could play it at like 120 at like the highest resolution, sure, I would prefer that obviously, but there were a lot of compromises or, a significant enough amount of compromises that had to be made to play that game at 120 FPS. And I was like, no, I'm good. Yeah, and you got to figure like, what about phones? You know, a lot of people consume most of their content through phones now. Anything they're watching, anyway, not necessarily playing, but I just don't. I don't think 8K is going to be the next big thing. I think there might be some kind of push in the future to make it a thing, but I think the market's going to mostly reject it. And so when it comes to how you kind of move forward at that point, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. 8K has a big latency issue. I never heard of that. That's interesting. A latency issue. You can tell, MBG, it looks like you're looking out your window. The pixel density is so high. Damn, bro. Really? I can see, this is what I'm saying. I don't know. Pushing Polygons is saying he, because that sounds pretty appealing. If it's that clear, if it's like that crystal clear, it looks like you're looking out your window. What's up, Corey? Glad you could join us. It's going to be 64K. Dude, I mean, I don't know. I'm willing to give 8K a chance in the future if it becomes really ubiquitous and I can see some kind of difference. The time was changed today. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I will say daylight savings. Clocks got pushed back by 1 hour. I forgot to acknowledge that at the beginning of the stream. So some people are probably a little bit confused. Um, but I guess yeah, technically technically the stream started an hour earlier than it normally would, like technically, because I know most of the world doesn't really observe like daylight savings. So 8K videos are much cleaner and clearer on 4K TVs. I've seen it compressed. Hmm. I guess we'll see, man. I don't really know. I don't really know how the market's gonna react to the eventual 8K push that's going to come. But it seems like everybody's gonna have to be on board in order for it to work. In 10 years, 8K will be as common as 4K. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, given the long enough amount of time, I could see that happening. I could see that happening. You had to experience the change from 1080p to 4K Ultra HD, look like real 3D or looking out a window. I mean, I do remember when I first saw 4K. I think the first time I saw 4K was I was in like a Best Buy and they had this like big section in the back where it was all the TVs and like media lounges and stuff. And there was like this big like 80-inch screen or something or 75-inch screen. This was years and years and years ago. And they were playing something. It was one of those just kind of B-roll film things that they play, but it was in like native 4K. And I remember being like, holy shit. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't believe how good that looks. And that's what I thought. I was like, man, that's like looking at a window. Um, and that was at a time when we were talking about 1080p. So 1080p to 4K, I think you could see a much, much, much bigger difference, much more easily. I think the average person can just identify that difference. But I would personally like to see an 8K image on an 8K screen next to a 4K image on a 4K screen. I don't think I've ever seen that. Like, I mean, in person, not compressed. It'd be interesting to see that. See if I could really tell the difference. You remember seeing a plasma TV back in the day at Best Buy, like a 50-inch? It was 5K or something. Yeah, I remember. That's what I remember too. I remember the price of these TVs being just absolutely absurd, like five, six, $7,000, and I remember hearing like people say that over the next couple of years, like the price of this stuff is going to drop dramatically, you know, and it's going to be much more affordable. I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it, and then it did happen. And Corey the Legend Landiga comes in and drops a 10 bomb on you guys. Corey, thank you so much for that, bud. The legend does it again. So Corey brings us up to 11 members. Guys, still got a long way to go, but I want to definitely encourage people. You know, I'm just experimenting today. We'll see if it happens. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. It's not like I wanted to play some Black Ops Zombies for my members. It's not like I wanted to do that. But Corey, thank you for the 10 bomb, bro. That brings us up to 11. 89. 89 to go. And we'll hit our goal. Are we going to do it? Guys, I want to see 89 single gifts to hit this goal. Never been done before. 89 single gifts. William, you're saying 8K TVs will become as cheap as 4K TVs are now in 4 years? I mean, I do think that they will become as cheap, but I don't know if I believe it's going to be in 4 years. I feel like it's going to take longer. But I don't know. Maybe it won't. I mean, I remember feeling the same way about 4K where I was like, no, this is going to take way longer. Corey's saying boss needs food. Boss is in here. Yeah. If we hit 25, we'll feed the beast. We'll do that. I mean, that's a given, you know? That's always the baseline. And Jake TRML comes in and drops a single gift. There we go. See, he's like, bro, I'm all aboard, I'm all about the 89 single membership gifts. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Still doesn't let me just add singles to the goal, which is very annoying. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. God, man, I'm sorry. Sorry if I seem like I'm all over the place. I just have way too many things on my screen right now. And Hellbound 1981. Hellbound 1981, another legend comes in, drops another 5 membership gifts for you guys. So these guys are getting a little member train going here. Corey starts with the 10. Jake drops a single, and Hellbound drops another 5, bringing us up to 17. So we're making our way, guys. We're making our way. Thank you for that, Hellbound. But I got to ask you guys, how many people here in the chat, if any, because there might not be any, but how many people originally were not sold on the PS5 Pro, but now feel sold on it? Now you're feeling like you're gonna invest in one. You're gonna pull the trigger. Do we have anybody like this in the chat right now? And Nero comes in and drops another 5 bomb. Nero wants to keep the member train going. And just like that, Nero brings us up to 22 members. So guys, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. Thank you, Nero. Cloud Strife says he's one of these individuals. All right, yeah. Here's another one. Any Xbox fans? Any Xbox players? Are there any Xbox players who decided they want to defect and switch over to the PS5 Pro? You're saying it's bait? No, I mean, I am kind of curious. I know that there are people making these decisions like at the last minute. That's what's interesting is I think some people for like the last 2 months have like convinced themselves like, I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't care about it. But then like, you know, now we're just days away from the launch. And I think a lot of these people are starting to break where they're like, I need it. It's like that SpongeBob episode. Like, I don't need it. I don't need it. Disco Cobra 2013 with a $10 super chat says, so you're thinking the PS5 Pro pre-orders will start being charged? I haven't been charged yet, but I'm not sure. I was wanting to sell one of my Series X's. I have a Halo edition and a regular one. Well, Disco Cobra, you got to tell me, where did you pre-order yours from? Because that makes the biggest difference in when you can expect to be charged. Corey, you're saying you're still planning to get the Pro. Nice, man. Yeah, there was like a short moment there where I was wondering, like, do I want to get it now or do I want to wait? But I decided I play my PS5 way too much, and there are too many games that are going to be enhanced where it's like there's no way. But Disco Cobra, I would say, it depends on where you pre-ordered it from. Because if you pre-ordered it from PlayStation Direct, then you should have been charged already. I don't really know if there's anybody who pre-ordered from PlayStation Direct that hasn't been charged already. But when it comes to... Oh, yours was from PlayStation Direct. Interesting. And you're saying it wasn't charged yet. Yeah, I don't... You might want to go, like, triple check Disco Cobra. Make sure your card didn't get rejected. Make sure you didn't get, like, an email saying your card got rejected or whatever, or the payment didn't go through, because I feel like they definitely should have charged your card by now. The only places where I haven't seen charges occur yet are from, like, third-party retailers like Amazon or GameStop or Best Buy or Target or something like that. I think they usually charge you a little bit later. But you're saying you were wanting to sell one of your Xbox Series consoles. You have a Halo edition and a regular one. I mean, if you wanted to sell your regular Series X, that probably wouldn't be such a bad idea. Truthfully, you'll still have the Halo edition. Check your spam folder. And Capono 5150. He's apologizing for derailing the conversation by dropping a membership gift. Capono, thank you so much for that, man. Another single brings us up to 23 on the day. 2 away from feeding the beast. 2 away from getting a quarter of the way to our goal. Thank you, Capono. They charged my card for the 30th edition and then took it back, but the 30th edition Pro releases on the 24th. So that charge won't be for a few weeks. That's what Otacon's saying. Yeah, wait, the 30th anniversary Pros are coming later. And Steven Leon comes in. Steven Leon with the big flex, dropping 20 memberships. He says new month 20 today. Steven, bro, thank you so much for that, man. Yeah, you've been showing a lot of love to the channel here in the community. So Steven drops a 20 bomb, and then Lone Wolf Gamer chimes in and drops another single. Let me see where that brought us up to. Well, I know we're definitely feeding the beast. And Sean Wallace comes in and drops a 5 bomb as well. Sean's getting in on it. Thank you so much for that, bro. You guys got a full member train going right now. Keep it going, man. Keep it going. The quicker we can hit that goal, we'll lock it in today. We'll make sure we get this member gameplay stream. And Corey the Legend drops another 10. Another 10 members gifted. I can't, like, my chat can't even keep up. So many people are getting membership gifts. Guys, if you got a membership gift, keep in mind you're going to have access to all of the previous members content that I put out there, as well as what's coming up for the next month. So please look forward to that. And if you enjoy it, consider re-upping your own membership. I do very much appreciate that support. Did I see Kojima's review of Joker 2? I did not. Actually, I didn't know. I'm actually kind of curious to know. And then Hellbound 1981 drops another 5. Look at this. They're pushing for it, man. They're pushing. They want to see us get to the 100 mark. Good shit, guys. Good shit. I got to feed the beast, too. And make sure, guys, I also want to say if there's any new viewers here, make sure you click any of the gift icons up top and you opt in so you can have the chance to receive a membership gift. But guys, we're now at 64 members. Let me update this. Okay. Titus, you're saying... Wait, you're saying it's not letting you buy a membership or gift a membership? Damn, that's disappointing. I don't know why. Yeah, you're not the only one, Titus. I've been seeing people, like, for the past month and a half. Silent Spartan, you're saying the same thing. See, I don't understand. I really... Dude, listen, here's my only suggestion, because this actually... What you're describing literally happened to me. I couldn't even drop membership gifts on my own channel. So my only recommendation would be to try to use a different browser if you're on desktop. That fixed it for me temporarily anyway. But yeah, I've been seeing quite a few people the past couple weeks saying that and these are people who have dropped member gifts before and they have dropped support before. So they were clearly able to. But for one reason or another, it just like isn't letting them. It's annoying for all of us. You know, they're annoyed because they want to support, they want to chime in. You know, they want to get in on it, and obviously it's annoying for me because that's support I could definitely use. So I don't know. I don't know why it does that. YouTube's been kind of a shit show lately, it seems. An Angry Whale Watcher comes in and keeps it going by dropping a single member gift. Angry Whale Watcher brings us up to 65. We got to feed the beast.
Boss, do you read me? It's time to feed the beast.
We got some catnip, too. Boss, Luna. Come on. Who's going to get here first? Oh, Luna got here first. You guys going to fight over it? Okay. Oh, whoa. Not next to the computer. Come on. All right. Boss asserted his dominance. Boss said he's getting his treats first. Luna backed off. It's okay. It's okay. You'll still get some, Luna. Don't worry. The boss is going to chow down there. If you don't keep the YouTube app updated, it will bug out sometimes. Is Black Ops 6 getting a pro patch? People keep asking me. As far as I'm aware, no. I mean, if it is getting a patch, it's coming seemingly like later on. Like they have not announced it. Maybe they're waiting to announce something like that. But I mean, to be honest, Black Ops 6 looks really good. Like I've been playing it a lot on my base PS5. I'm starting to think it's overheating my console. So I've been having this problem for the past couple of weeks where my console just shuts down. For whatever reason, it just shuts down. But it doesn't... People have told me that if it shuts down due to overheating, it beeps 3 times. But I have never heard a triple beep. And Silent Spartan comes in and drops another 5-bomb for you guys. Silent Spartan, there you go, man. I'm glad you were able to figure it out. I feel like it's been giving you a hard time, but Silent Spartan, he wants to get us to the goal. He drops 5 more gifts, bringing us up to 70. So, guys, we're 30 away. That's not a small number, but damn, dude, we went from having 1 member gift being like 99 away to now we're just 30 away from hitting the goal. So thank you guys so much. We have an amazing community here. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of excited now because I was really, like, I was hoping we could I don't want to call it yet. Oh, and he dropped the second one. He dropped 5 more. So he gets us to 75. Guys, we're 3/4 of the way there. All right, Luna, it's your turn. Thank you, Son Spartan. There you go. I love how Leia still just doesn't give a shit about treats. She's just like, nah, I'm good. You know what Leia does like though? She likes catnip. But only hey, whoa, boss. I don't want you asserting your dominance that much. It's her time to eat. Don't be rude. Don't be rude, bro. You got plenty. You'll get some catnip too. Luna's very stealthy. She is. She's extremely stealthy. Steven, you're saying just wanted to jump on and say what's up, drop some members. I believe they can take my son and his friends to get them winter clothes. Try to help. I was like them. Life is rough. Well, I really appreciate that, Steven. Thank you so much for that, man. Yeah, I appreciate all the support you guys show. No, Dark Demon Media, I did not turn the beep sound off of my PlayStation. No, I kept that on. So, yeah, basically, I don't know if it's a power. I did change my power cable out, and that solved it for quite a bit. But like yesterday, for example, I mean, I was playing. I'm not gonna lie. I was basically playing Call of Duty all day yesterday. I was like addicted to zombies, and I was playing it for most of the day, and it was like kind of towards the late evening, and my console just shut off. And I felt it, and it was really hot, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it was really, really hot. I'm like, this console's way hotter, I feel like, than it should be. Either that or it was just in my head. So here's what I did. It was actually really chilly out yesterday evening. And where my console's located, it's basically right next to a window. So I opened the window to get a cool breeze in. And I just wanted to kind of test out and see what would happen. And I played for like a couple more hours and it didn't shut down or anything. You're saying time to clean the fan. I opened it up and the fan has some dust on it, but it's not like caked all over. It didn't look that dusty. But interestingly enough, I kept my window open. It was a little bit chilly in here. But when I was done playing after a couple more hours, I went to go feel the PlayStation. Dude, it was totally cool. It was actually kind of cold. And I was like surprised. I'm like, damn, okay, it's that the wind, the cold wind blowing in, like straight up kept my PlayStation 5 from getting hot at all. I could barely feel any heat. I don't know if I actually maybe got too cold, but I don't know. I do not know if it's shutting down due to overheating because I'm telling you, man, I'm starting to think it might be another problem. Stick it in the fridge. Yeah, there you go. But I don't know if it's another problem that I'm not aware of. If maybe there's a problem with like the power cable port or something, like not actually the wire, but the port itself. Maybe it's like loose or whatever. Unplug it for 5 minutes. I had that issue. It happens with the power cord. I unplugged it while I was at work, and it hasn't happened in months. Bro, that's why they shut down to protect itself. But I'm like suspecting that, but again, like, isn't it supposed to tell you that that's why it shut down? Like, even when I boot it back up, right? So here's another thing I noticed. When I go to, right after it shuts off, I can't turn it back on until I unplug the power cord and plug it back in. If I press the power button, it just doesn't turn on. Only when I unplug the power cord, plug it back in, then I hit the button and it turns on. And all, that's what's telling me, like, this has to have something to do with the port or something. Like it's going bad or it's loose or something's just wrong. Vacuum the dust hole. Thank you, Gavin. You're right, though. No, I checked it. I took the plates off and I went to go check to see if the dust catcher, if it had any dust in there, and it didn't. It legitimately didn't. I was like surprised. I'm like, oh. So use both updates for your PS5 system feature updates. Yep, it's fully updated. I mean, I'll be honest, man. I'm just thinking maybe I had it on for too long. Nero, you're saying, MEG, I still think YouTube is selectively gifting memberships. Do you recognize any new members? I don't know. I didn't check. We had so many people getting gifted, all the names that popped up. I'm looking now. Is there anybody here in the chat right now that got a membership gift, like a re-up from a gift? Gavin, you're saying it's definitely changed. Helldive isn't getting one. Wes isn't getting one. Yeah, you know what? Now that you mention it, yeah. Vincent, you didn't get one. You only got a membership after the old one expired. Interesting. Interesting. You get gifted from channels you don't watch. Wait, Capono. How is this possible? Oh, wait. Isn't it so if you opt in to receive a gift, you're opting in across all channels, all of YouTube, correct? You bet it doesn't turn back on until the power brick cools down enough? Robert, you're saying you got gifted 3 months in a row. Okay. Rudy said the same thing. Yeah, I am noticing like people who've had membership gifts for. Do you think there's like a limit? Do you think like when you have it for 12 months, YouTube's just like, all right, we're going to move on and give it to other people? Because the common theme between all the people you're mentioning that I do recognize, like they have 1 year badges next to their name. Nick Taylor says he's been gifted 13 months. Okay. Yeah, we'll continue to pay attention to this because more and more people are like kind of pointing out to me that it seems like YouTube is starting to distribute the gifts to newer people, which I'll be honest, I'm not necessarily against. I mean, I understand that a lot of people have come to rely on those membership gifts to be able to access the members content, but I do understand from YouTube's perspective, they're probably like, well, we got to push people to try to actually like, re-up their own memberships. But I know not everybody can. So it's, it is what it is, I guess. Lone Wolf, you're saying, MBG, I've been a member for 1 year and I've been gifted 9 of those months. Okay. Yeah, we'll continue to monitor it. I say that as if I can do anything. YouTube's the one that decides ultimately. Robert, you're saying you believe it's the ones who really, really rock with you, MBG, who get gifted? From what I've heard, it's that, but it's also how much you interact with the chat, apparently. I've also seen a pretty significant uptick in subscribers lately as well, which is good. And that's awesome. Like, hopefully we can hit that 100K. But I do wonder if maybe that has something to do with it as well. YouTube always giving MGG anxiety. For sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. I will say this. My videos have been picking up a little bit lately. Not like massively, but enough to where we're getting more subscribers in and we're starting to grow the channel again. And we're getting awfully close, man. Like, we are the closest I think we've ever been to the 100K mark. I think we're like 450 subs away from the 100K mark. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah, 99.5. So, anybody want to place bets? Do I have a weird tattoo on my head? Do you think that's why I haven't taken my hat off? Place your bets. Disco Cobra with another super chat says, it's odd because it says my order was canceled due to an issue. I did have my most current card put in. The DualSense didn't even show up, so I don't know. Yeah, see, I'm glad you said something in the super chat, Disco Cobra, because I had a distinct feeling. I'm like, dude, I think they may have canceled your order. Here's a question. Does it say they canceled it does it say that they tried to charge it, but the payment didn't go through, so it got canceled? Is that what it says? Because if so, my guess at that point would be it was your bank. Like, your bank basically randomly got the charge and they thought it was suspicious and they didn't let it go through. They'd normally say add a new payment method. Yeah, that's another thing too. I don't recall them like straight up canceling it. From what I remember, they'll basically ask you to update the payment method as quickly as possible. But maybe if you wait too long, maybe they do cancel it. Because that's the thing. Maybe he didn't get his... Because it seems like Disco Cobra maybe didn't know. Like, he had the email sitting there and he maybe missed it. And he just found out now. Darkside Matthew says, take the hat off. Well, listen, man, I can't do it yet. The whole taking the hat off thing was a promise made a long time ago. When we hit 100K, I'll take the hat off. I'm telling you, man, it's not... People are going to be so underwhelmed. Like, or will they? Do I have a head tattoo? Who is the person that says it's like a spider web? How'd you know? How'd you know that's what's under here? Just a big ass spider web tattoo, you know? That's funny. You're saying it was at 99.8K one time. Was I? Disco Cobra is saying due to authorizing the payment method. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, dude. I think because let me ask you this as well. Does it have a time? Like, what time did they send you that email? Was it in like the middle of the night? Because I think the timing of when they charge it plays a role. You got a buzz cut? Right now I do. Yeah, my hair's it's basically like a buzz cut length. Sarf London Geezer says gift members let the creator or viewers buy the opportunity for others to access the perks of the channel membership for 1 month. Viewers must opt in to be eligible for gifted memberships from the channel. Okay. Yeah, so any new viewers, make sure you opt in. I must have blocked that out of my memory, Devil Shooter. You're saying I was at 99.9K at one point. I must have blocked that out of my memory. That's just too painful. How could I have been that close and not made it? Got a triangle forehead? Why is that so funny, though? Yeah, I got a triangle forehead, guys. Oh, man. You had a PS5 pre-order get canceled way back when because the transaction tried to go through at 3 a.m., but that was through GameFly or GameSpot or something. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. If there's like a big transaction that occurs in like the middle of the night, like in the AM, I'm pretty sure your bank will like automatically reject it. It says the email was at 4:02 a.m. There it is. When I placed the order, it was on another card though, so maybe they got mixed up. Yeah, I don't know, Disco Cobra. So your best bet at this point, if they say it was canceled, if the order was straight up canceled, I'm assuming they're still available to purchase on PS Direct. Your best bet would be to try to order one right now. If you didn't get charged and you're sure it's canceled, reorder it right now through PS Direct because I'm pretty sure if you order it now, if they're still available, they will take the money right now. And you'll like guarantee that order. But you might get it a little bit later. Or you could do what Capone's saying here. You could kind of wait and see if you can get it at a retailer in the next couple days. But I don't know. That might be a little bit risky. Either way, you're at risk of maybe getting it a little bit later. You haven't been charged and the order says it's prepping to ship. That's strange. That seems like that's a bit backwards. I've never heard it. The only problem with that is I did order the DualSense Limited and it has not shown up yet, unless that is separate. Well, at that point, Disco Cobra, the only other thing I can, well, just so we're on the same page, the limited edition DualSense does not come out until the 21st. So I don't know if you were aware of that, Disco Cobra. It's coming out a couple weeks, like 2 weeks after the Pro. So if you're saying that's, I don't know if when you say it's not showing up, if you mean it's just like literally not showing up that you pre-ordered it, or it's just not, like it's not showing up as it's shipping yet or been charged yet. I mean, at this point, Disco Cobra, I don't know. You might have to reach out, as much as I hate to say this, because God knows it's going to suck, but you might have to reach out to PlayStation support and see if they can help you kind of figure out what's going on here, because now I'm starting to get confused. I don't know. I feel like there's always something weird going on PlayStation Direct, man. That's some strong tea. I'm not used to drinking green tea in place of coffee, man. I always have creamer in my coffee. It's always sweet. But got to be healthy, you know? Got to get that natural caffeine, that natural energy. Not that coffee isn't natural, but you know what I mean. Sorry. I don't sweeten my tea. It's just so bitter. Wakes me up though. Your bank says it will release the money on the 4th, so that means they're shipping on the 4th if you got through PlayStation Direct. Okay. PS5 Pro with 16.7 T-flops is not worth this price. It's better to build a PC with the RTX 4060 Ti for money, which is with a much better processor. How much is that? The GPU you're recommending is $400 on Amazon. 4060 Ti, $400. Bro, you're gonna be dude. If you're paying $400 for the GPU alone, you're gonna be paying a lot more for that PC overall, man. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like if that feels, but come on, I mean, you'd be paying way more than $700 for that PC. Old people at my work drink coffee black, no creamer. I could never drink black coffee, dude. I don't understand how people can drink black coffee. I'm serious. Like it's just one of those things where it's like it's horrible. It's just horrible. Like who wants to drink coffee like that willingly? That has to be some kind of like very specific acquired taste, because to me that's cursed. Bloodborne Remastered came preloaded on my PS5 Pro. I had to delete it. They know it tastes bad. You only drink black coffee if you're fasting. I mean, that makes sense. I can understand that. But also the acidity of it, man. Oof. Oh, by the way, speaking of acidity, I've been doing some research lately, and something that I've learned, and this is so interesting to me. Apparently, a lot of people, if not most people who experience like bad acid reflux and stuff, and like just acid always being a problem, it's due to your stomach not producing enough acid. Like the pH levels are too high and they actually have to be lower. Like your stomach needs to be even more acidic. And the reason for this, apparently, really interesting stuff here. Maybe this will help somebody out because I saw some of you guys saying some of you suffer from acid reflux as well. Apparently, the reason being is that when your stomach acid pH level changes and it gets too high to like a 4 or a 5, and it's supposed to be between a 1 and a 3, it doesn't trigger there's like a muscle right here at the very top of your stomach that connects to your esophagus. Apparently, if there's not enough acid and it's not acidic enough, it will not trigger the muscle to tighten. And so the muscle stays loose and it stays open. And that's what just allows the backflow. So apparently the trick is you have to re-acidify your stomach and make it more acidic back down to like between a 1 and a 3 in the pH. And that's what will trigger that muscle to flex again and tighten. It's not pseudoscience. No, apparently like that's straight up biologically like how your body works. But there's something important to note here. Apparently, if you're suffering from like gastritis or you have like a stomach ulcer or, there's any kind of like wound or something, you got to heal that first. You have to heal that before you reacidify your stomach or the acid will agitate it. So there has to be like a kind of healing process. Then after the healing process takes place, reacidify your stomach. And also bacteria. A lot of people apparently suffer from really bad chronic acid reflux because they have an overabundance of bad bacteria in their stomach and in their gut. So you might want to look into like probiotics. There's like apparently like eating raw garlic can help, stuff like that, kill the bad bacteria. There you go. There's your health section. MBG, your body can only repair itself so many times. Remember this. No, I know that. There is a limit. If enough damage is done over a long enough period of time, sometimes the damage is too great. But just something I came across recently. That's why I'm drinking green tea now. Apparently green tea is extremely good for that. And I've been trying to eat healthier and all that good stuff. Imagine having chronic acid reflux. It's super common, man, which is crazy. And that's why, too, really quick, not to just go on a tangent that's totally away from gaming, but that's why it's interesting how, like, so many people, they go on acid suppressors, right? And from what I've looked into, it seems like that kind of does the opposite. Like, being on acid medication for years and years and years, it's not really solving the root problem. And the root problem is your body actually is not producing enough acid, so you're kind of making it worse in the long run, but you're not feeling the symptoms because you're masking the symptoms through. It's obviously, I'm not a doctor, so obviously always listen to your doctor, but I'm not gonna lie, like I've come across doctors that just, I'm gonna be honest, like they just seem like they're not really. I don't know how to put it, without sounding rude. They just some doctors I think are maybe not necessarily giving the best advice to people, seemingly. But yeah, there is more to it. I mean that what I just described, that's not necessarily a fix all for everybody. Like everybody has different circumstances, but it just seems like there's like this misconception, misunderstanding where it's like nobody, like I haven't really heard people like doctors talk about that, right? Like no doctor I've ever came across was like, you might not have enough acidity in your stomach. That's why people do that. People who have really bad acid reflux, they swear by like apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is one of the most acidic things you can consume. Like, you have to dilute it. It's that acidic. And they swear by it. They ingest it, like, you know, they go on, they take it like once a day, and it like cures them, or it helps it helps their acid reflux. It's really, I don't know, it's really interesting stuff, man. The human body is a fascinating thing. Jerry A says, I just want my Pro MBG. I can't wait any longer. Greatness doesn't wait. Carl G, you're saying you had a lot of acid in the late 80s and 90s. What changed, Carl? MBG, Dragon's Dogma 2 and Spider-Man 2 gameplay on the PS5 Pro, YouTube at 4K. Devil Shooter, you love apple cider vinegar? I think I'm going to start taking apple cider vinegar again. They only treat the symptoms, not the problem. Doctors have changed so much. My theory on that, Steven, because that's like such a common problem. My theory is that it's because most doctors, I think, have just kind of accepted that most people are not going to change their lifestyles. And I think that's what pharmaceutical companies have kind of tapped into, where, think about it, like, people who develop problems due to lifestyle and behavior and conditioning, it's, you know, when they run into problems, those problems will definitely interfere with that. But a lot of people don't change. They don't. They just continue to do the thing that led to the problem in the first place, because they're kind of, I don't know if it's either addiction or just, you know, the conditioning. It requires a real change, and real change is very, very difficult. Very difficult. And that's why I think, you know, everybody always blames the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies, which they definitely need to be blamed, certainly, for a lot of the stuff they do. But I think there's also a lack of accountability for the individual as well, where it's like, well, you know, even if you knew what to do naturally, right, and you realize it's very hard, you're going to do it? It ain't easy. Jerry A says the Pro is coming. Let's go. Jerry, on a scale from 1 to 10, how hyped are you for the Pro? Jerry, why do I get the feeling it's an 11 out of 10? We rarely change. Back to the games, please. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. Just PS5 Pro's got me thinking about apple cider vinegar, you know? It's the green tea's fault. Blame the green tea. A lot of it is also individuals going to school for profit over passion. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it's hard to blame people, you know? I try not to judge. Like, we all need money to survive. And the way our society works is the more money you have, generally speaking, the, you know, the more comfortable you can live. Let me see, Genius. You're saying oh, you know what? Hold on. I did miss a couple of super chats. I do apologize. I missed a super chat from Subtext. He says, behind on the stream, my shutdowns were from dust. I didn't notice it until I opened it up and removed the fan. Dust got deep, cleaned it. It could be that. I didn't see a lot of dust when I opened it, but I didn't actually take out the fan. And when I looked in the fan, I did notice that, like, there was dust, but it didn't look like it was that much. But then again, like you're saying, yours was like the dust was kind of deep in there. You probably couldn't really see it without taking it out. Maybe I'll try dusting it out later on, because my PS5 is set up right here with my plates off of it. Hey man, if I have to, I'll just open my window again. It's a nice cool day outside. It's a nice cool breeze. The Genius 200X, I'm sorry I missed your super chat, buddy. You're saying my cameras in the studio do 8K and the difference is visible. If possible, super sampling will be the same as what PS4 Pro did for 1080p TVs, I imagine. Yeah, I mean, Genius, you're not the only one to tell me that you actually did or can see a difference with 8K, even if it's, you know, it being super sampled. I mean, my whole thing is, for me, like what I see the difference, but multiple people have told me in the chat today that they've seen the difference, and it is noticeable. Maybe not. Well, you're saying it might be as distinct as what we see from 1080p to 4K. That would be surprising to me, Genius. I would actually be quite surprised by that. I would expect there to be a difference, but I wouldn't expect the jump from 4K to 8K to be like nearly as noticeable as 1080p to 4K. But then again, I'm saying this from a place of ignorance. I have not seen that. William, you're saying MBG, you have to use a compressed air sprayer. That's where most of the dust is. Shoot it in multiple places, and that will fix it. All right, I think I do have a can of compressed air downstairs. Actually, I might try that. I mean, it's interesting timing because I was like making a joke yesterday. I'm like, did Sony do this on purpose for the launch model PS5s? They were like, listen, we want to basically put a timer on these things. About 4 years from now, we're going to drop the PS5 Pro. That's what we're planning. So we want to make sure that the launch model PS5 start to die at around the same time. Obviously, I'm joking, but still kind of funny to think. If he would remove the fan, he would see how much dust sits in the heatsink. All right, well, what do you think's better, using the compressed air or using a vacuum? What would be more effective, or both? It's designed so you can use your vacuum cleaner. Yeah, it's true with the little dust catcher. It'll be interesting to see if we get more reports of PS5s overheating. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be the conspiracy guy, but it is interesting to me. A toothbrush. It is interesting to me, the timing of this. 4 years and he's never cleaned the heatsink. Well, I mean, what you're describing, if you have to take the fan out, I don't know that I'm comfortable doing that because I don't want to, knowing me, I'll screw it up. MBG, you have to use the compressed air and then a vacuum on the heatsink. Use a tiny vacuum in the tiny hole as well. It's so easy. You're probably right. You're probably right. If I just looked up a tutorial video, it's probably super easy. Well, I want to make it clear. It's not like the PS. Because I think the way I described it, it's not like my PS5 is just. It's not like it's not playing. I mean, it's shut off probably 4 times total in like the last month. It's just, when it was shutting off, I did notice like it's after it's been running for a while. So I think it's safe to say that it does need to be cleaned out. There is something going on. But I don't want to make it sound like it's not usable or anything, or that I've been having some kind of serious problem that's just preventing me from playing games. It's not that serious. Okay with the NVIDIA drivers. Thank you, eFits. I appreciate that, buddy. At this point, don't even clean it. You had the Pro on the way. I was thinking, I mean, that's another thing I was thinking too, right? Like, if it's not that problematic, like it's probably, the truth is it's likely only problematic for me because I play my PS5 a lot. Like, this thing is getting a lot of use, man, every day. Or certainly every week. So I'm not going to get rid of it. Like, I'm still going to have it, but I imagine maybe it would be just fine if it just goes, if it turns into a PS5 that just gets low to moderate usage, it'd probably be perfectly fine. Just sell it. Yeah, I could do that too. Corey, you're heading out, man? No, Corey, you're supposed to come to the member stream. No, it's all good, man. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate all the support as well, man. Hopefully you can, if we do end up doing the member stream, hopefully you can catch it later on. Always appreciate the support, man. Yeah, that's true. You're saying we need the PS5 emote to be updated to the PS5 Pro. Very true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Let's see where we are time-wise. Okay, so we're almost 2 hours in. Okay, Kapapa says, super hyped about the PS5 Pro. Yeah, I'm seeing it, man. I'm seeing it. People are getting more excited as we're getting closer to the launch. Absolutely. I think maybe some people are overhyped, you know, but I don't know. Everybody seems to be understanding of what they're getting. Somebody said there was like 4K footage out there though of games running on the PS5 Pro. And I'm wondering where to find this. So let me see if I can find it. How to clean your PS5 safely, 3 stages. Wow. Okay, I guess YouTube really is listening to me, man. That's really funny. Where is this footage though? Because like I'm not seeing it anywhere. It's on Twitter. According to Zubitech on Twitter, he says PlayStation is working on a wireless wearable speaker for PlayStation hardware. It will have haptics and 3D audio. That's interesting. Very interesting. Joker 2's shifting reputation. Apparently, Kojima has influenced the trajectory in which Joker 2 will be remembered. Hideo Kojima praises Joker 2. Quote, over the next 10 to 20 years, this film's reputation will likely change along with the permeation of hero movies to come, end quote. Oh, well. So Kojima liked Joker 2. What do we make of this, chat? What do we make of this? Subtext with a super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says, officially 1 month from December. If you had to call it, will there be an anniversary show? Or was the show don't tell interview prep for a no-show? Well, I would argue the whole show don't tell thing actually leans more so into the idea of having a show. Because that's what it is, right? We're ready to show you, and that's what we're going to do. We're showing. But if I had to call it, will there be an anniversary showcase? If I don't mean this sounds so disappointing, but I'm going to say no. I don't think so. There's been no rumors. There's been no rumblings. It's just, the only place we've been hearing talk of a potential showcase is basically within fan circles, like hoping that Sony would do that for the 30th anniversary. But truthfully, I'm thinking no. I would love to be wrong, and I'd love for them to, I would love for them to do something like that, but Gabriel Master? Oh, okay. I see this person on YouTube. Oh, wow. This person's uploading a bunch of PS5 Pro stuff. I'm not going to show it. I don't think I'm allowed to show it, but I could at least check it out for myself. Let me see. Spider-Man 2 PS5 Pro 4K 60 ray tracing. They did upload it at 4K 60 FPS. It's in Spanish, I think. I don't know what settings they have here. You can still see YouTube compression is doing what it always does. Like, no matter how good you try to make the footage, there's still a layer of compression you can see. But yeah, I mean, dude, you can see, at least even through the video, there's another It looks a lot crisper than I remember it looked. Looks a lot crisper. All right, now he's going over to the windows. Let's check the ray tracing. Oh wow. Okay. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. I would show it, but I don't want to risk it. Yeah, you could probably hear the audio. Dragon's Dogma, PS5 Pro, 4K 60. Ooh, this one should be interesting. Let's see.
I can make short work of any and all challenges we face.
Yeah, it looks very crisp, man. High resolution. Frame rate looks smooth. It's looking good.
I see our goal has changed. I would not presume to direct our course, but do let me know if you require a guide.
There will be other opportunities to lead. For now, let us follow. You mustn't let this...
Let me see some combat.
Battle is ours!
I will protect you.
The only thing people are pointing out that the HDR isn't coming through on the video, which is unfortunate. So like the colors look really off, but the performance and the overall graphical presentation look great, man. It's good stuff. It's funny that this person got their hands on the console early and now they're like posting all this content. Dragon's Dogma 2 definitely getting played this month. Terrence is saying, you don't know why, but for you, some games don't need 60 FPS, but others really do need it. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying. If you're playing a really, really slow-paced game, you can do so at 30 FPS, I think, just fine. But I don't know, man. Every time I played a game and I've went from 30 to 60, it's only enhanced the experience. Let me see what other games they have here. They do have The Last of Us. I'm going to be honest, I'm less interested in that. I think as of right now, that's the only footage they've uploaded. We just check the comments on the Spider-Man video, see what people are saying. Looks amazing. Quality is mind-blowing. This is incredible. So clean. Looks so much better. I mean, yeah, man. I'm not surprised Insomniac is yeah, I'm getting hyped, man. I'm getting hyped. Please no more 30 FPS. PCs have a hard time with 60 FPS and native 4K, 4090 plus. That's like 1% of games or gamers. Yeah, that's what I mean, man. I think maybe as we start to see more and more games getting enhanced, and as we start to see more people going hands-on with it, and as we start to see more comparisons, I think it will slowly but surely become apparent to people that, maybe, just maybe, the PS5 Pro is going to turn out to be worth the price point. I understand right now that for like a lot of people, they're like, well, it doesn't feel worth it because I'm not really seeing the difference yet. And also, these are games that I already played. I get it. But maybe it's going to take the next 12 months to see new games coming out, seeing those comparisons done. And as the PS5 Pro will inevitably, it will establish itself as the go-to console for the best performance. And you know, I just I think the reason why the whole conversation between like PS5 Pro or PC, I think that conversation died down because, well, it died down for the same reason that it will always die out. And that is that, dude, there are two different types of people: console players and PC players. There's overlap. There are people who play both, but generally speaking, like, you're always going to have people who want console. And Sony understands that because of that, there's always going to be some market for a high-end console experience. Just like, there's always going to be a market for a high-end PC experience as well. I mean, like you're saying, a very small percentage of people actually have those, the most cutting-edge components in their PC, but that market still exists. That market is still there, enthusiastic, ready, and willing to pay. Who's to say, like, who's to determine that that can't also exist in the console space? GTA 6 CPU bound confirmed, or are you just making things up? Who said that? Who's saying it's CPU bound? There's speculation that it will be CPU bound, but no confirmation of that. 30 FPS is fine. I will be happy taking 30 FPS Alan Wake 2 ray tracing mode. I mean, yeah, games are absolutely playable at 30 FPS. I'm not saying it's ideal in most circumstances, but I don't know. Like, I was playing Silent Hill 2 at 30 FPS for a little while, and I did ultimately switch over to the 60 FPS. But for the time I was playing at 30, I'm like, it's certainly playable. It's not that bad, It's when I switched to 60 that I really struggled to go back, regardless of how good it looks. But I do want to see what some of these ray tracing modes look like. Like, I think I'm going to check out Alan Wake 2 and the ray tracing and how that looks. I'm just curious to see it for myself. Spider-Man 2 as well. The PS5 CPU is way stronger than people think. Dragon's Dogma 2 is supposedly CPU bound, but it's a 60 FPS on the Pro. Yeah, that's the thing. Apparently, Dragon's Dogma 2, like you're saying, that was a game that was CPU bound, and we could be looking at our first example of a CPU bound game achieving 60 FPS, on the Pro. 60 FPS greater than ray tracing. I mean, I agree, Devil Shooter. If I had to choose, do I want ray tracing or 60 FPS? I'm going to choose 60 FPS for sure. For sure. But I think that's what's kind of cool about the Pro is apparently you can get some decently good ray tracing even at 60 FPS with some games. I mean, if they're pushing the ray tracing to the limit, like what we see with Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man 2, it does have its limits. But Broccoli Rob says, I canceled my PS5 Pro. Can I borrow $1? Well, it sounds like you're saving a bunch of dollars, Broccoli Rob. But why'd you cancel your Pro, bro? What changed? What convinced you to cancel your Pro? Lone Wolf Gamer says, one of the main reasons I want the Pro is because I want the best I can get right now. And I'm not a PC gamer, and I have no desire to be. Good for those who are, though. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. My biggest thing for buying the PS5 Pro is, again, I've said it many times, but it's worth bringing up here again. My whole thing with the Pro is I was questioning whether or not I would actually want one at launch specifically, because I know that the most compelling PS5 Pro experiences are going to be coming in the next year, 2-3 years, right? Like down the line. But then I realized that I play so much. I've played my PS5 so much that if it were to straight up die, like if my PS5 console just died right now, I mean, I'd be a little bit annoyed, obviously, but I would actually be like, I get it. Like I put thousands of hours into this thing. And the amount of times I've just actually kind of let it run as well while I'm like doing stuff and then come back. But I've played it so much that I'm not upset at the idea of reinvesting into an even more powerful, albeit more expensive version of this thing that I know for a fact, even if this generation just lasts for 3 more years, I'm going to get my money's worth and then some. Like, it's almost, I don't want to say you can't put a price on it, but I'm just saying that $700 price point that was put on it, well worth it to me. It will be well worth it to me, no doubt. It's more about how much less I game these days. I'm gaming at a fraction of the time I played in the years past because of work. Kiddos getting older. That makes sense. Yeah. I could totally understand why you're like, you know what? Not really worth it. I mean, yeah, if you buy it and you can't really use it that much, it's going to start to feel like you ended up wasting your money. So I totally get it. William, you're saying MBG, the PS6 will be an 8K 60 FPS with ray tracing and real AI NPC conversations where you'll be able to say whatever you want to a random NPC in a city and they will reply with full conversations. Oh my God, William. We need that PS6. Screw the PS5 Pro. We need the PS6. No, I think you're right, though. I think there's a lot of what you just said is probably those are going to be the next steps. Boy, Tyler is saying MBG exactly. I have thousands and thousands of hours on my launch PS5. Even for just a few more years, the Pro will absolutely be worth the investment for me. Yeah, and I mean, there's always the option to sell your Pro too, right? Like, I think people are kind of not thinking about that side of it, but like, if you buy the Pro now at 700, and then even if it is 3 years from now the PS6 comes out, like, you can sell your PS5 Pro to go towards it, and you're not going to get you're not going to get what you paid for it back, obviously. But even if you get like half of it, you'll have to then, if you ask yourself, like, how many hours of gameplay did I get on this Pro console over the last 3 years, and it's like a couple thousand or more than that, then dude, like, yeah, I mean, even getting anything back for it at that point, I would say is worth it. And then you can just put that towards the PS6, and that cycle can kind of repeat itself. There are quite a few people that are doing that with their PS5s right now. They got their use out of their PS5. They're going to sell it. They're going to make a little bit of money back on it. They're going to put that money back, or put that money towards the Pro. I mean, I'm deciding to keep my PS5 because I think my son, I mean, I think he's going to want to use it, He's been gaming a lot more, so I'll let him have it. Maybe it'll be a PS5 Christmas gift. I don't know. $700 for a console I'll use for at least 4 years. That's a good investment. Yeah. I mean, it's all a matter of what you're expecting to get out of it. If you're expecting the visual upgrades, you're going to get that. If you're expecting higher visuals at higher frame rates, you're going to get that. If you're expecting to get that consistently over the next 3 years until the next generation, you're going to get that. And so I'm really, what I'm most curious about, and we've brought this up before, but man, it's going to be so interesting to see what happens when GTA 6 comes out. I mean, that's going to be probably the most interesting time for the PS5 Pro, truthfully. Texan American Gaming says, I'm giving my current PS5 to my daughter and pre-ordered the Pro for myself. Well, there you go, man. There you go. The only game I have right now that I'd actually play if I got the Pro is GT7. All the other games that I have that are enhanced, I don't care to go back to see and uninstall. That's fair. That's a fair reason to not be interested. And the truth is, like, what Sony is trying to do right now at the launch of the PS5 Pro makes sense. Like, Sony's, as of right now, they're trying to court the people that are just flat out excited about the hardware itself. Of course, they're excited for the games, but Sony doesn't want to have a barrage of new games right now, or at least they're not actively trying to do that to sell the PS5 Pro, because they're not expecting this to be a high volume machine. But even when you think about it, like, Sony's aware that 1 year from now, it's going to be much more important to have games shown, like new games showed off on the PS5 Pro, because you only get one launch, and I guess I'm just saying, like, Sony understands they can kind of get away with it right now, right? Because there are a lot of hardware enthusiasts. There are a lot of people who are sold on what they see right now. And so it's like, all right, let's get those customers first. And then over the next year, as developers continue to enhance their games and announce new games and reveal new games, as well as us, then we'll get everybody, the people who are kind of on the fence or waiting for that. So there's kind of a cadence at which this is going to roll out. How much better do you think load times will be? I would imagine not drastically better, but maybe slightly. William, you're saying I'm waiting for the PS 30th event in December, then no one will doubt PlayStation again this gen. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier, William. Jury's still out on that one, man. I don't know. Is it happening? Are we getting it? I know you'll have faith, William. We'll see. I hope so. I really hope so, man. That would be incredible. I would be so shocked. I really would be genuinely shocked if Sony came out next month and they're like, by the way, we have a showcase. I would be like, holy shit. I don't even care if it's good or bad. I'd just be like, wow, they did it. They really did it. But I don't know that I'm holding my breath. There's been so much less hype for this than the PS4 Pro or the One X, though. They probably should be pushing new games. I mean, yeah, I will say, generally speaking, there seems to be overall less hype, but I just think there are too many. The circumstances surrounding the PS5 Pro versus the circumstances that were surrounding the PS4 Pro are so different now. Like, so many things are different that I think the PS5 Pro is exactly where it should be, and it's getting pretty much exactly the reaction it should be getting for now. What I'm more interested in is seeing the bigger picture, but I have to wait for time to do its thing. I want to see the bigger picture for the PlayStation brand in the next 2 to 3 years. Right? There's kind of this general feeling that PlayStation is kind of floundering or falling, or it's not doing as good, and it's just getting worse. There's kind of this general feeling on the internet of that, and it's like, well, let's see if that's true or not. We'll know in the coming months, and certainly in the next year or two, if that's true or not. But subtext, yeah, I have shared my thoughts on Silent Hill 2. To just give you the gist, really, really, really liked it, man. One of the best games I played this year. Bloober team nailed it. It was a little bit long in the tooth, but they did it. I friggin' loved it. I mean, it was masterfully done. Like, way better than I expected coming from Bloober team. Nero, you're saying you didn't get the PS4 Pro. I'm getting a PS5 Pro. They sold me on it. Interesting. See, that's even more interesting to me, Nero. You're saying you didn't get the PS4 Pro, but you are sold on the 5 Pro. Don't forget that when he shut down Firewalk, Herman said that he looks forward to the announcements in the coming months, not years. I mean, I would love to see it, I called William Herman. William, are you secretly Herman? I would love to see it, William. I would. Let me see here. So, guys, we're about 2 hours and 15 minutes into the stream. I'm letting you know that we're going to be wrapping it up. We'll probably have another solid 45 minutes left. Okay? So we're not ending the stream soon. But I'm just putting it out there that we are very close to hitting our goal today, which is awesome to see. We're 3/4 of the way there. We're 75 members, 25 more members, and we will be able to move over to a member gameplay stream where we're gonna have some fun playing some zombies. So I'm just putting that. I'm gonna push that a little bit as we get closer to the ending of this stream, just because we're so close. We're so close, guys. I want it to happen. All right, I want it to happen. I know we can do it. We can do it. I know we can. William, aka Herman. Herman Aguilar confirmed. Who the hell is Carlos with a $2 super chat says, YouTube stopped giving me gifts. I don't know why. LOL haters. Well, yeah, so I'll acknowledge this too, because I'm seeing it more and more where like people who have come to rely on getting membership gifts, I guess YouTube really did change something where they're doing like a different cycle now. And look, I want to encourage people, if you had those membership gifts and you were able to access members content and you enjoyed it, if it's within your means, please consider like actually upping your membership, re-upping it yourself, because that's going to help as well. That will count towards the goal, but it will also give you access to any members content we do as well. Because yeah, YouTube seems to be shifting the way that they distribute their gifts, at least a little bit from what I can tell. So if it's within your means and you're able to, and you think it's worth it, please consider doing that. It definitely helps. Even if it's just from the supportive standpoint, We need a Doc Holliday video game where Val Kilmer does the voice acting. Patrick Murphy says Val Kilmer voice acting. Who's going to tell him? Damn, bro. Yeah. Who's going to tell him? Who is going to tell him? Let's go see. Let's go see how toxic things are getting here over on Twitter land. All right, I'm checking to see. So hold on now. Black Ops 6 compared, last gen consoles compared. Series S frame rate struggles at 60. PS4 Pro apparently is fine at 60. 1512p resolution, upscaled. 1440p dynamic for the Series S. Or no, dynamic for the Pro as well. Are you telling me the PS4 Pro is outperforming the Series S with Call of Duty? Is this what I'm being told right now? And oh my God, as I'm over here just looking on Twitter, we have a full membership train going. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm like, they're probably like, bro, why isn't he acknowledging the membership train? Holy shit, where are we? Steven Leon, bro. Steven Leon comes in and drops another 20 bomb on you guys. Steven is doing the big lift today, bro. That's another 20 memberships gifted from Steven. But on top of that, we got Nero coming in, dropping a single. We also have Kaz Jam dropping a single. And then we also have, keeping the train going here, Chili21 re-upping their membership. So Chili, thank you for that as well, buddy. I want to make sure I thank the people who are re-upping their memberships actively. Awesome stuff, bro. Let me see where we're at 98 now. We're at 98 members. Hold on, though. Hold on. We got Silent Spartan. Silent Spartan new. Silent Spartan drops another single, 99. 99 members. Who's going to dunk it? Who's going to take it home? That's incredible, though, guys. Huge, huge support today. Was really unsure if we would actually hit this goal today, but you guys absolutely decimated it. I mean, you obliterated this goal. So there we are. We're at 99. One away. Thank you guys so much for all the support. We have an incredible, absolutely incredible community here. Very supportive community. And Nero does it. Nero's like, I got to get this one, man. Nero gets the last membership gift to get us to the 100. Obviously, everybody who contributed to that made this possible. But boom, second major member train of the day. 100 members crushed. 100 crushed. Steven threw it up there with that 20 bomb. He's like, we got to get this thing, bro. And thank you. Just a big thank you. Seriously, that's such a huge goal. And the reward for that will be after today's stream, we're going to go over to a member stream, and I'm going to do some Black Ops 6 Zombies rounds with Mrs. MBG and Brown Sugar. People have been asking about Brown Sugar, so he'll be making his return there. And so, yeah, if you got gifted a membership, please tune into that. And thank you guys so much, man. Huge, huge day. And let me see here. I'm going to... There we go. I'm going to drop 5 for you guys as well, too, for hitting such a huge goal today. I'm not going to add my 5 to the counter, but cap it at 100. So hopefully some people who are hoping to get some membership gifts today did receive them. Good stuff, man. Great stuff, actually. Not even good stuff. That's great stuff right there. All right. Let's see where we're at. And the only other thing I want to ask you guys, I know I've been asking a lot of you today. If you haven't, please just take a moment to hit the like button. Rudy, you're saying, who are these people? Who are you people? Who are these people getting gifted? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the names now. Somebody named Steven Xbox Gamer got gifted. I don't know. Justin Liebeck got gifted. I recognize that name. I mean, there's a lot of people, I guess, that are, can potentially get a gift. And by the way, I see Steven said before he dropped his 20 bomb, he says he's out. Have a great day to all. Going out with a bang. Well, Steven, I don't know if you're still here, man, but all right, there you go. And he says, okay, now I'm out. MBG, you don't count for your goal, cheater, LOL. Maybe I will start. I don't know. But Steven, thank you so much, bro. You're very kind to the channel and very supportive, and it means a lot, man. So, yeah, awesome stuff today. So I guess the question at this point is, do we keep going? Well, let's see. Let's see what else there is to discuss here. I'm going to go check. Helldivers 2 Xbox port is not happening, according to Special Nick. Was there some kind of like, did I miss something? Also, why is it so dark all of a sudden? Oh, shit. It's that daylight savings, man. That daylight savings is, hold on. Let me see if I can get a little bit better lighting in here. Did that do literally anything at all? I can't. It doesn't really look like it did. I can't tell. Everything feels off today. I don't like it. I mean, yeah, it's nice because you get like an extra hour of sleep. And that's great. You know, getting an extra hour of sleep is great. But yeah, it kind of does throw your day off a little bit. Just a little bit. MBG, I just got back. Did you break your chat again? I don't think so. The chat seems to be doing just fine. Michael Clark, you're saying to any long-term DualSense Edge owners, is it really worth the cost? Guys, do we have any long-term DualSense Edge owners here? I mean, I've had mine for about a year and a half, I would say, at this point. I've really enjoyed it. Like, I'll show you this. What I've been using these I don't know what you call it, I guess the convex sticks, especially because I've been playing Call of Duty a lot lately. Switching to the convex sticks has been immensely helpful. Like, really helpful, actually. And I think it actually does improve my aim slightly. It helps with the comfort factor, though, because I'm always, I don't know, I'm just all over the place. So I can't say I use every single feature that the Edge offers, but I've been using it for like a year and a half now, and it's been really nice. I mean, you definitely, when you first get it, you appreciate the grips on the back and the textured triggers. Like, all this stuff seems so small and so subtle, but once you go back to using a regular DualSense, it feels so weird. Like, it feels like there's so many things missing. And yeah, so I mean, I recommend it, but you just got to really, I would say, ask yourself, like, what is the reason you're buying it for? You know? Lone Wolf Gamer, you want to get one eventually? I mean, I know a lot of people who buy these controllers, and maybe I should try to. I've tried in the past. I just can't get used to it. A lot of people who buy these controllers, they do so in the hopes of like having, you not in the hopes, but they look forward to using the back buttons. And that's what should hopefully make them play much better, much more effective, because you can program certain button prompts to those back buttons. And I tried that before and I just couldn't do it, man. I just can't do it. Like, I can't, it's like it requires a reprogramming of my brain. And I always kind of felt, a little bit bad, you know? But then I got over it. I'm like, well, I'm using it for other reasons. Really quick, Helldive, you're saying none of these people getting gifted memberships even watch the live streams. I don't know what's going on, dude. I really don't know what's going on. Silent Spartan, you're saying the convex sticks are a superior experience. I mean, they are nice. They are nice. I've always liked the regular, like, concave sticks that the DualSense ships with, but once you get used to the concave sticks again, because like I was kind of always used to them when I would play PlayStation, then with the PS4, the DualShock 4, and then the DualSense, I'm like, okay, now I'm not used to them anymore. But then you go back. Capono, you're saying, I tried to tell MBG earlier, I got gifted from a channel I don't watch. I'm telling you, it's at this point, it's becoming obvious to me what YouTube's trying to do. YouTube is trying to get people who have been gifted, who are relying on, or who not relying, but who have been receiving frequent membership gifts. YouTube is clearly trying to push them to like buy their own membership now. So I don't know how long that's going to last. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense that if it's like the people who watch the streams the most and interact with it the most, those are the ones who are going to get the membership gifts. But it also makes sense that would lead to people constantly getting recurrent memberships. because I'm seeing more and more people pop up saying like they pretty much have gotten used to getting membership gifts and they always watch the streams and now they're just kind of like not. And I can't do anything about that. I would if I could. I'd obviously continue to make it so that people who are watching the content the most, you're gonna unsubscribe and resubscribe. Is that was that like a potential workaround that people have found? I don't know. I'm not saying that works. I have no idea. I have no idea. Means less people in the members lounge. You know, I will say, Gavin, I have noticed in my past couple of member streams, notice a noticeable dip in the viewership. It's been a little bit since I've done a members lounge, but I have noticed a dip. So I do wonder if maybe there's some weird shit going on here. Oh yeah, I would not want to disperse the gifts myself. Oh my god. Hell no. Yeah, that would be a nightmare. They released a YouTube video of Spider-Man 2's enhancement. An official video, I assume? Because they just released Ratchet and Clank's. Here we go. Let's see if I can bring it up. Hold on. I'm just going to keep it muted just because I don't know if that music's going to get copyrighted or not. Oh, they're okay. They actually have people talking.
The challenge is, are we delivering the promise of this character, of this franchise, playing either in fidelity mode or performance mode?
In order for us to accomplish that,
And I'm muted. I'm just sitting here talking to myself. Anyway, as you could probably figure out, I was just trying to see why this is so broken. So I'm going to have to like redo it. Everybody's like, bro, why are you muted? Stop. You're muted. I hate that. That's the worst thing ever when I'm just talking and talking. And then I just realize like I didn't unmute myself. I can't stand that. All right, let me see if I can fix this. Give me a sec. I just wanted to watch this with you. It's only like 2 minutes long. It's only 2 freaking minutes. And now it's not even showing up. Dude, I'm so tired of technical difficulties being so fucking prevalent all the time. Like it's just exhausting. It's exhausting. Just hang tight for a moment, guys. I gotta I gotta reorganize my stuff. I got stuff open everywhere. I don't even know what's going on. It's just pure chaos. All this just for like one video, man. 1 2-minute video. Is it even going to be worth it? Did you see that Satya Nadella said they need exclusive content? Microsoft is so confusing. Wait, no, I didn't see that. Where did that come from? That's the opposite of what he's been saying. You got to give me a source for that one, bro. All right, let's try this again. We need exclusive content. If it were up to me, there would be no exclusives, but we do need exclusive content. I mean, I guess I kind of get it, but all right, let's try this again, guys. Let's try this again.
I think what's been great about this generation of consoles is that players get to choose how they want to play the game. The challenge is, are we delivering the promise of this character, of this franchise, playing either in fidelity mode or performance mode?
In order for us to accomplish that, we want to put as much detail as we can into the characters and the environments. But one of the things that you will experience in real life is that the world is incredibly reflective. There's glass buildings that are reflecting. Spider-Man's goggles, his lenses, are reflecting the world around him. And we've always had to make compromises when we switch to a performance mode. The fidelity of it drops a little bit just so that we can get that extra performance.
And so your final product ends up being kind of that compromise between the creative vision and the technical limitations that we have. The team works really, really hard to make sure no matter your personal preference, that feeling of what you want to be as Spider-Man will continue to be felt.
The PS5 Pro fits in nicely where it allows for higher fidelity. The ray tracing is now 2 to 3 times as fast. Have an actual custom silicone AI upscaler that performs the upscaling, the anti-aliasing, frees up a lot of the GPU to render pure graphics, but also improves the visuals and the jump in quality, fidelity. The extra detail in the distance is just unbelievable.
Players can swing through the city at 60 frames per second, get that nice, smooth controls that they want, but at the same time have the fidelity of the world and the characters from fidelity mode. When players play Marvel Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5 Pro, they are playing the quintessential version of the Spider-Man experience on the PlayStation 5.
It looks good, man. Yeah, I'm excited to try out Spider-Man 2 on the Pro. Let's go check the comments here. I'm sure the comments are just wonderful. But what about our precious DLC? There's so much more to explore. Now I can see the individual. I can't guys, I can't tell if this second comment is I can't tell if they're being sarcastic. Like, it feels like they're being sarcastic, but they also might not be. Wish you could enhance the writing. Holy shit, what a burn. I gotta admit, that's a wow. Whew. That's a brutal burn right there, man. Yikes. Look at the shiny windows. Wow, such a big difference. I don't know. Like, again, I can't tell. Like, I genuinely can't tell. Like, is that sarcasm? I can't read sarcasm, man. You can't see the difference over YouTube. Compression is a problem. I agree. Like, you can see it, but it YouTube, when you're watching it on YouTube, it diminishes it like a lot. I think I'm going to stay with my PS5. You know what? Just stick with base PS5. It has a free vertical stand. It's cheaper and has a built-in disk drive. Almost $1,000 for a dude. Like, I'm so tired of people saying that. That to me has to be the most annoying thing. Like, it's not almost $1,000. What are you talking about? $1,000 is $1,000. This product is $300 less than what you're saying it is. That's more than half the cost of a base PS5. I mean, I get it. The whole, like, if you want the disc drive and you want the stand, I get it. But people just never seem to understand that you can buy a Pro and not buy both of those. Those products are not needed. And I'm not, look, I wish there was a disc drive model, right, that was the same price, but it's just not gonna happen. Not without having to increase the price further. I don't know, man. It looks the same. It looks the same, bro. You know, hold on. Your eyes need to get checked. Check your eyes then. That's cool, but where's the DLC? Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, there you go. Yo, wait, hold on. Did you guys see the comments on the Ratchet and Clank video? Dude, they were brutal. I watched the video yesterday for Ratchet and Clank and for the PS5 Pro, and holy shit, like, I'm not gonna lie, Sony just got shit on. Like, they just got completely and utterly shit on in those comments. And maybe it'll be even worse. These are just still early with the comments. But they were, oh my God, brutal. Absolutely brutal. You were going to trade your base PS5, but you're passing it down to your daughter instead, Magnum. Well, that's cool, dude. You're the second person I've seen say that today. Watching the video on my 6-inch 1080p phone, and I can't tell the difference. Well, it's understandable. I mean, look, I get it. If anything, I think Spider-Man 2 is... You can see a difference. I mean, I feel like people who are saying they don't see a difference are exaggerating a little bit. Like, come on. Like, you don't see any difference? Come on now, bro. I mean, it's looking pretty good. But I do also understand why some people are like, it's not as big of a difference as I would have hoped for. I get that, because I think that actually kind of shows that, bro, like, if you play Spider-Man 2 in performance mode on base PS5, it does look and run really well. Like, really well. But to say that there's no difference, I think people are... I think they're I'm going to be honest, I think some of them are lying a bit. Like, they're lying about it. Like, I don't see any difference. Like, you really don't see anything. Like, you could say it's not worth it. That's fine. Like, I think that's totally valid. Like, yeah, it's not worth the difference you're seeing. But you don't see any difference? I mean, come on, man. Come on. They're the same image. Really? Are they, though? Are they the same image? Again, man, this is why. This is why I'm so curious. Like, seeing these comments right now, dude, I'm so curious what Sony's going to do with the PlayStation 6. Because we're seeing these comments now. It's like, I don't see the difference. I don't see it. Like, Sony's going to have to think of some very creative ways, man, to get people hyped about the next generation. Because the last thing you want to see with people... with the rollout of PlayStation 6, the last thing you want to see people saying is, but I don't see a difference. What's the difference? I don't get it. What's the point? That's going to be bad. That's going to be real bad. But I'll let you guys know, honestly. I won't overhype it. I'll be honest with you, okay? I'll screw around with Spider-Man 2. I'm not going to do it live just because, like, I'm not going to be able to stream the quality of it, but I'll mess around with Spider-Man 2. And or at least some of these games. I haven't nailed down quite yet exactly what games I'm going to try out first, but I'll let you know, man. I'll let you know if it's like, yeah, it's not as big of a difference as I'd hoped, or if it's actually like in person, you know, like me seeing it uncompressed. Saying you ain't going to shit on it, though. I mean, it depends. Like, if it's if for some reason I boot up like Alan Wake 2 and it looks like shit and I don't notice a difference at all, I'm like, this is like hardly noticeable. Like, I mean, I'll let you know, like, wow, okay, that's yeah, it's not very good, but I'm a completely shit on. I'll be like, this is the worst console I ever bought. Sony scammed me. Sony scammed me. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be, man. It's gonna be just a total disappointment, train wreck. You'll enjoy that 2 terabyte. Yeah, that's true. That is true. You have to let us know how it is compared to the standard. Yeah, I will do that. I mean, I'm gonna be absolutely toggling. So, like, if I understand this correctly, you can actively choose if you want to, if you're some kind of weirdo, you can actively choose to play the regular 30 FPS fidelity mode and the standard performance mode. You can still choose to do that on the Pro console, correct? If that's the case, yeah, I'm going to be toggling between them. I'm going to be toggling between them constantly. Clip it and ship it. Sony scammed me. Sony scammed me. What am I even saying? What is bro even saying? Well, I'm going to be checking for that. They probably purposely kept it in there so you can compare. Listen, man, these people are going to want to know if they got their money's worth. So make sure you ship it. Make sure you still have the standard fidelity and performance mode. Plot twist. MBG so disappointed with his PS5 Pro. He's hosting a new stream. I will now smash my PS5 Pro with the sledgehammer. Sony scammed me. Well, that escalated quickly. But let me go check over here, see if there's any more news about the... Let's go check the Twitter replies, guys, on the same clip that Sony just posted. Learn about the enhanced PS5 Pro features coming to Spider-Man 2. Let me check the Twitter replies. I'm sure they're going to be amazing. We wanted DLC, but got more reflections. We wanted story DLC, not reflections. Scam is an effing scam. Self-reflection is evident from a lack of story DLC. Holy God, man. See, this is what I mean, though. Like, I'm seeing this stuff, right? Like, this is what's so funny to me is, like, there's so much hate. But I need to know. Like, I need to know how it's going to sell. Because I'm not convinced. I'm not yet convinced that the amount of vitriol and disdain and hate we're seeing, I'm not convinced that it's going to translate to this console selling poorly or to people deciding not to buy PlayStation 5s. Maybe it will. I want to say, maybe I'm wrong, and that's exactly what this will translate to. We are seeing the beginning of the end for the PlayStation 5. I'm not saying that's not a possibility. I'm just saying that I'm not convinced yet based off of the comments because I want to see the data. Magnum Gaming, you're saying, MBG, you got to play Metro next week on the Pro and PSVR 2. Also, Behemoth is coming. I think you will get no more motion sickness with the Pro. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about that, Magnum Gaming. I haven't thought about whether or not I'm going to try the Pro. or try PSVR 2 on the Pro and see how it is for VR games. I haven't played VR in a long time, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was like really loving it in the moment, but then I don't know. I fell off of it. I don't know. Maybe I was not getting adjusted to the motion sickness, I think. And I think what made me stop picking up PSVR 2 and putting it on my head and playing it is that like I just knew that every time I wanted to do that, I would feel like shit afterwards. Like I would have a headache and feel sick. And I don't know, maybe you're right. Maybe if these games are running smoother and at higher frame rates potentially. And Waylark with another chat, thank you, buddy, says a few hundred comments is so much hate. Dude, you are spending too much time online. No, I know. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, Magnum. Like, I think if you're reading these comments and you're seeing the upvotes, people hearting it and liking it, and it can create this illusion in that moment that, oh my God, people hate this thing. But the reality is it's like there are probably way more people, because like that's what you're saying, a couple hundred replies, a couple hundred comments. The truth is the vast majority are in two camps right now. Camp number one, you absolutely care about this console and you're excited for it. You already have it pre-ordered and you're buying it. Or you're thinking about buying it later on and you're just kind of waiting. Or camp number two, you don't give a shit. So you definitely don't give a shit about this post, and you definitely don't give a shit enough about this post to reply to this post. Now there's camp number three. Camp number three is, for some reason, the PS5 Pro basically killed somebody's dog. They killed your dog, and you got to let Sony know. And so I ultimately do... You're saying you should only post on Twitter and not read it as a YouTuber. Well, believe me when I tell you, you're preaching to the choir here, man. And I know I do read Twitter too much, but as somebody who does both Twitter and YouTube, believe me when I tell you, I'm convinced that I'm the only person that is on both platforms. That's how different it is. Like, it is so insane how different. Like, when people say, like, Twitter isn't real, like, you could make that argument about, like, any social. But no, for real, like, Twitter's the worst place ever. Ever. And I mean, maybe there are, I don't know if Instagram's better or Facebook. I don't use these social media platforms. I never will. But I can say if they're anything like Twitter, it's just bad. It's bad. And the worst thing about it is, like, everybody's basically just given up. That's what I noticed about Twitter. Like, everybody's just basically accepted that this place is shit. It's not getting any better. It's not going to get any better. It's terminal, you know, and we're just going to accept it for what it is. Post and ghost, bro. Most of the time I do. I won't lie. Most of the time I do. My problem is this is why I'm okay with the fact that I'm addicted to Call of Duty now. Like, I'm addicted to Call of Duty. I don't know why. Like, I want to get to the 10th Prestige now. I'm going to play other games, obviously. But I've embraced the addiction to Call of Duty this year because I'm like, dude, if it's not this, when I'm not playing single player games, I'm just going to be scrolling Twitter. And I'd much rather just be grinding a game and leveling up and unlocking, like, weapon camos and shit and killing zombies. I'd much rather be doing that than just constantly scrolling on Twitter and constantly, you know, seeing shit that doesn't matter and is probably only going to negatively influence me. He bent the knee to COD, clip it. Dude, listen, man, here's the reality. If Microsoft didn't own Call of Duty this year, nothing would change for me. Nothing would change. Like, I still would have bought it. You know what I mean? I still would be enjoying it the same way. Because, like, I don't know, man. This is the most fun I think I may have ever had on. Not ever, but this is, like, the most fun I've had with Call of Duty, I think, in the past, like, 10 plus years. I'm not even kidding. Maybe longer than that. I don't know what it is, but when I first played it in the beta, I was like, what the hell? It didn't click with me. I'm like, something doesn't feel right. for some reason, when I started playing, like after I bought it and I started playing it, I don't know. I was like, this feels so fucking good. Why does this feel so good? I love it. And now I'm kind of addicted to it, and I'm addicted to the grind. That's what's happened. I'm addicted to the grind. I'm already first prestige. I'm not proud of that, but double XP weekend, bro. But Microsoft, please enhance Black Ops 6 for the PS5 Pro. God damn it. Make it happen. Microsoft still found a way to get me, bro. They're like, oh, we see how it is, MBG. You don't want to come play Sea of Thieves? Oh, all right. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Don't play Sea of Thieves then. We don't care. We'll get you. We know how to get you. What are they, like Trump? They always sound like Trump. We're going to get you. We're going to get you, MBG. I love how I love how Microsoft, that's Microsoft talking to me. Like, yeah, we're going to bring you over. They got me, though, man. They got me with Call of Duty. I'm not going to lie. I know. What's so bad about it, too, is there are other games that people want me to play. They're like, bro, you got to play this game. You got to play that game. You're missing out. And I'm just like, but that double XP Call of Duty weekend, bro. I need to get to that second prestige. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what it is, though? I'll be honest with you. Back in the day with Call of Duty, I used to grind those prestiges because it felt like there was an end point. Get to the 10th prestige. Like there was an ending, you know? So there's always this kind of notion where it's like, at some point I'm going to stop playing, but I just really want to get to that max rank. And it took a long time, but it felt worth it because there was something there was a final destination, right? And I think them bringing that back to the game this year has really impacted like my psyche and how I play it, where it's like, wow, I haven't felt this way about Call of Duty in so many years, where it's like I actually want to prestige and get to the final prestige and like lock it in and end it. And I know they have like a prestige master and you can go to like 1,000 levels if you want, but just getting to that 10th prestige, and if you want to end it there, you know, it's crazy. Like I kind of forgot how much that meant to me back in the day playing Call of Duty, and ever since they removed it, I felt like they just removed the incentive to grind that game, and I'm like, well, whatever, I'm out. But you can see why Deviation Games got shut down. Sony saw Call of Duty was too much. I don't know, man. Deviation Games, it seemed like they were just having internal problems. I don't know. Yeah, we just reacted to that. PlayStation just released the PS5 Pro Spider-Man 2 video. We reacted to that. But yeah, I do have some other games I'm planning on playing. I would have played Until Dawn already, but that's going to be one of the first games I play on the Pro. I do want to play Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. I'm waiting for the Pro for that as well. And then I'll just kind of take it from there and see where I go. But don't worry, skill-based matchmaking will stop that excitement. It probably will, yeah. I will say, though, Zombies is fun as hell, though. Zombies is really fun. Speaking of which, guys, I'm actually going to wrap the stream up now. I didn't want to go past the 3-hour mark because I'm going to be... Listen, this is very important to any of my members that are here right now. 3:30 Eastern Time. 30 minutes from now, we're going to be going live with a members gameplay stream. It's going to be me, Mrs. MBG, and Brown Sugar playing some zombies. And maybe Devil Child as well. He might be online too. So we might have a full group going. But I'm going to get that set up now, okay? I just need to take a small break, make sure everything's set up and good to go. And that stream will be going out at 3:30. So that's pretty much going to conclude today's regular stream. I had a good time talking to you guys about the PS5 Pro. Bunch of leaks came out. I'm sure more stuff is going to come out. And before we go here, Nero comes in. He's like, I got to gift one more, bro. I got to get one more membership gift in. He drops another one to bring us to 101. So absolutely huge day for membership gifting. I put the goal out there, see if we could get to 100, and you guys absolutely killed it. We have some, again, amazing community members here, and I'm very grateful for you guys. We are totally fan-funded. I'm only able to run this channel the way I do because you guys make it possible. So just a big shout out and big thank you to anybody who dropped membership gifts today, anybody who dropped any super chats. And I actually do need to go make sure that I didn't miss any direct donations as well, because apparently my notifications have not been going off. So give me just a moment to double check this, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, no, we're good. We're good on that. Okay, just wanted to make sure. All right, guys. The only other thing I'm going to ask you to do as we head out here is to just please hit that like button. It helps the streams. And I also want to make sure to give a shout out to Devil Shooter. He does the timestamps for the streams. So if you guys see him in the comments with those timestamps, give him some thanks. I know he really appreciates it. He does a great job for the community here. And Devil Shooter, thank you so much for what you do, man. And again, to all my members, 30 minutes from now, we're going to be going live with a gameplay stream. I hope to see you there. And to everybody else, I will catch you tomorrow with the next stream. All right. So that does it. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll catch some of you guys very soon.